Kang Min was stunned for a moment, thinking, asterisk, he's actively protecting me. Asterisk, he immediately raised his sword, unleashing a barrage of golden sword chi at his opponents. The two Ma clan martial lords saw this and cried out in shock. How can he be this strong? How did he get so much stronger in such a short time? Waves of sword chi shot straight towards the two martial lords, and they immediately spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, flying backwards. Seeing this, Kang Min crossed his arms, snorted coldly. So this is all a 9-star martial grandmaster amounts to. He walked step by step towards the two Ma clan martial lords, saying he'd see what kind of treasures these two had on them. Kang Min started searching their bodies, saying, "This daddy is short on cash." Just then, the system screen immediately popped up. Warning, warning, a martial lord expert is approaching to attack. He immediately opened a treasure box and yelled, "Don't fucking bother me." Right after that, Kang Min froze. His face darkened as he muttered, "Something's not right." He turned his head to look behind him, deep in thought. A 7-star martial lord? Ma Chi stood right behind him, shouting, "You little brat, you ruined the Ma clan's plan of several hundred years, destroyed our ancestral hall, and killed so many of our experts." His entire body radiated a red, fiery light. He raised his hand and roared, "Today is the day you die." A giant illusory hand immediately appeared above Ma Chi's head and struck down. Kang Min looked up at it, thinking to himself, a 7-star martial lord? A single slap from that thing could grind me into paste. Time to fucking run. He turned and quickly used the Lingyun step to flee. Ma Chi maintained his hand-raised posture and smirked. "Kid, no matter how many tricks you have up your sleeve, you're dead for sure today." Kang Min looked back at the giant hand behind him and yelled, "Shit." He frowned, pushing himself to run forward, thinking to himself, "Looks like my only option is to buy another item." Kang Min raised his hand and shouted, "System, show me some escape items." The system screen immediately appeared. The system suggested that only a void-breaking talisman could save him now. Hearing that, he screamed, "Then exchange it for me, quick!" What the system said next made Kang Min want to cough up blood. The system announced a successful exchange for the void-breaking talisman at the cost of 100,000 supreme coins. He cried out, "You damn system!" taking advantage of the situation again. Hearing this, the system issued a reminder, "If you don't use the void-breaking talisman now, you will die." He raised the talisman and shouted, "Just you wait. I'll deal with you later." Ah. Right after that, the giant illusory hand smashed down towards where Kang Min was standing. He clasped his hands together, holding the talisman between them, and yelled, "Ma clan, our grudge officially ends today." A loud explosion rang out, and flames shot up into the sky. On the ground, a massive hand-shaped crater appeared. Ma Chi frowned, looking down at it, and said, "That little bastard actually managed to escape?" He gripped his own shoulder, snorted coldly, and said, "Even if he escaped, my palm strike has already damaged his internal organs. He'll die one way or another." In a forest near the Yoon clan, Kang Min emerged from a golden circle of light. He collapsed, lying motionless on the ground. After a while, Kang Min's face was covered in blood. He tried to crawl forward, crying out, "Damn it, I'm seriously injured. If I don't get treatment, I'm a dead man." His eyes looked down at his hand, muttering nonstop, "No, I can't die." Then Kang Min barely saw the figure of a fox rushing towards him. It stopped right in front of him, staring at Kang Min's unconscious body. The fox bent down, gently took him in its mouth, lifted him up, and then turned and ran quickly towards a deep ravine. Sunlight shone down on the forest. A carriage pulled by 2 white horses moved forward. Inside, Nangong Ning rested her chin on her hand, looking ahead and muttering, "Xiao Bai, where have you run off to again?" Luer immediately bowed her head and spoke up, "My lady, Xiao Bai is a level 5 spirit beast. You don't need to worry about him." She rested her chin on her hand and muttered, "This journey is so boring. And it's even more boring without Xiao Bai here." Just then, Nangong Ning's face lit up with excitement when she saw it running back with Kang Min in its mouth, shouting, "Xiao Bai." She looked over with a puzzled expression, asking, "Wait, who is this young man?" Nangong Ning let out a questioning sound as she saw Xiao Bai rubbing its head against her and whining. She reached out to pet its head, asking, "You want me to save him?" Hearing this, Luer grabbed Nangong Ning's arm and cried out, "My lady, we don't know where this man came from. We don't know if he's a friend or foe. What if?" She immediately raised her hand, channeling purple spiritual energy, and said, "Don't worry." Nangong Ning placed a pill in his mouth, saying, "We have expert guards with us. You don't need to worry." Luer immediately shouted in agitation, "My lady, you gave him the Golden Foundation bone-growing pill. That's your life-saving elixir." She squatted down on the ground, hugging her knees, and said, "Say no more. Xiao Bai has a spiritual connection with me. If it wants me to save him, there must be a reason. I trust Xiao Bai." A purple light began to glow from Kang Min's body, His body began to recover rapidly, and his hand resting on the ground twitched slightly. Kang Min's eyes snapped open. He looked around and asked, Where am I? Nangong Ning let out a small cry and jumped to her feet in surprise. He held his head, getting up and muttering, My head hurts so much. Kang Min tilted his head to the side, asking, why am I here? Luer put her hands on her hips and shouted loudly, My lady saved you. Nangong Ning knelt down, tucking her hair behind her ear and said, Although you've taken the Golden Foundation bone-growing pill, you haven't fully recovered yet. You should rest. He immediately clasped his hands, letting out a cough, and said, Thank you, young lady. Suddenly, Kang Min was startled, thinking, My injuries. She quickly reached out to catch his collapsing body. Nangong Ning's face was filled with worry. Shouted loudly, Be careful. Jung Hyuk ran in from outside with a spirit herb, yelling, Yeon Hee, look, I brought back a pearl herb for you. She instantly pulled her hand back, letting Kang Min's head slam hard onto the ground, and asked in surprise, Jung Hyuk, what are you doing here? He looked completely pissed off and demanded loudly, in broad daylight, How could you bring some random guy into your room? Yeon-hee stood up, arms crossed, and cut him off. Shut the hell up. I was saving his life. What nonsense are you spouting? Then she turned to leave with Min-ji, saying, Just leave. I'm going to rest. Seeing this, Jung Hyuk cried out, Yeon-hee. He immediately glared down at Kang Min, thinking to himself, Damn it. It's all that damn brat's fault. Inside the carriage's main cabin, Kang Min raised his hand and gently scrolled through the system screen in front of him. Lying on the floor, he looked at it and thought, A full power blow from a martial venerable is fucking insane. My injuries are healing, but I don't have enough chi. Kang Min looked at the chi recovery pill on the screen, then hit the buy button. He gritted his teeth, thinking, A chi recovery pill is exactly what I need to restore my chi. Right after, a notification appeared. Chi recovery pill. Exchange price is 2,000 supreme coins. Player has only 1,999 supreme coins. Exchange failed. Kang Min clutched his chest, spat, and retorted, I'm short by 1 goddamn supreme coin. Are you screwing with me, system? Immediately after, another notification immediately appeared. Initiating mandatory quest. Within 5 minutes, increase Yeon-hee's affection towards you. Quest success will reward 1 charm point, and the system will generate 1 supreme coin. Mission failure will result in the severing of your little brother. He winced in pain at the news, then furiously shouted, I can barely fucking move. How am I supposed to get Yeon-hee to like me? Kang Min clutched his head, rolling on the floor and screaming, You damn system, you're going to piss me to death this time. Fuck it. If I get punished, I'm smashing this piece of shit system to bits. Just then, the carriage hit a large rock. Inside, a wooden box on the table tipped over and fell to the floor. The jade hairpin inside it tumbled out, shattering into pieces. Seeing this, Yeon-hee gasped in confusion. What happened? Min-ji pointed at the box and answered, My lady, it's terrible. The jade hairpin your mother gave you has shattered. Hearing that, she rushed over, her face pale. What? Yeon-hee knelt on the floor, cradling the broken pieces and asking, What am I going to do now? She looked down at the pieces and cried, This is the only thing my mother left me. Kang Min coughed and crawled towards her, saying, Let me see. He smirked faintly, and said, I'm an artifact refinement grandmaster. Fixing a little jade hairpin should be a piece of cake, right? Min-ji pointed a finger at Kang Min and shouted, This is all because of you, you damn jinx! Everything was fine before you got here. As soon as you arrived, you made my lady fight with young Master Jung Hyuk, and now the hairpin is broken too. She kept pointing at him, screaming her head off. Yeon-hee turned her head to ask him, You want to see it? Kang Min gave a small smile and held out his hand. What if I can actually fix it? In his mind, however, he was panicking. For real, hurry up and give it to me. If your affection level doesn't go up, my little brother is getting the axe. Min-ji stood with her hands on her hips, looking down her nose at him and shouting, What kind of act are you putting on? Who the hell can fix shattered jade? Cut the crap. Yeon-hee looked at him and thought, Every other man tries to suck up to me, but he's different. Blushing, she held out the jade hairpin with both hands and said, Okay, I'll give it to you. Covered in a cold sweat, Kang Min took the hairpin, thinking, Phew, just in time. Seeing this, Min-ji exclaimed in shock, My lady, you're really giving it to him? What if he... Yeon-hee put a finger to her lips and said, Shh, it's all right. I trust him. Right then, Kang Min raised his hand and yelled, leaping high into the air. He raised the hammer in his hand and shouted, Technique of the Artifact Refinement Grandmaster. Yeon-hee clasped her hands and exclaimed with a smile, Wow, that looks so cool. Then, Kang Min rapidly worked the hammer, working on the repairs without stopping. The two girls stood watching his figure, which was shrouded in white smoke, only hearing the sound of intense hammering. Kang Min wiped the sweat from his brow, held up the hairpin, and said, It's finished. Min-ji jumped in shock, exclaiming, That's all it took? I can't believe it. Yeon-hee was also stunned. That was so fast? In Kang Min's palm was a completely restored jade hairpin. He clutched his chest and coughed, asking, Lady Yeon-hee, I'm sorry. Since I'm injured, I couldn't put my full effort into it. Will this do for now? Yeon-hee took the hairpin and replied, It's completely flawless. I love it. Beside her, Minji also yelled, So incredible. Kang Min put a hand on his knee, pushing himself up as he said, Lady Yeon-hee, you don't need to worry, if you're not satisfied. His body trembled as he tried to get up, adding, When I'm healed, I'll fix it again for you with more care. Yeon-hee rushed forward to support him, shouting, Be careful. He lifted his head, his eyes locking with hers like a spark of electricity as he said, Thank you, Lady Yeon-hee. Yeon-hee was too bashful to meet Kang Min's gaze directly. She said, You can just call me Yeon-hee. Immediately, a system notification popped up. Mandatory quest to increase Yeon-hee's affection has been completed, rewarding 1 charm point and 1 bonus supreme coin. Hearing that, he wiped his forehead and let out a sigh of relief. Damn, that was close. A few more seconds and I would have been totally fucked. Meanwhile, Nam Kung-lin clutched her chest, gazing at Kang Min, lost in thought. Why did young Master Kang suddenly seem so incredibly handsome, just like her ideal husband? He furrowed his brow, walking over with a concerned expression to ask, Linner, what's wrong? Is there something on my face? Nam Kung-lin quickly raised her hand in denial. It's nothing. You should get some rest. I'm heading back to my room. Kang Min watched her leave with a small smirk, thinking to himself, My charm really is something else. A system notification popped up. Recovery pill, available for exchange. Exchange now? He looked at the system and replied, Hell yeah, I do. I need to get my strength back as soon as possible. A notification chimed. Recovery pill exchange successful. Kang Min looked at the pill in his hand and cursed inwardly. God damn it. This fucking system is just setting me up for more trouble. He quickly popped the pill into his mouth and swallowed it down. Kang Min then sat down cross-legged with his hands together, his entire body glowing with a golden light as he cultivated. From inside Nam Kung-lin's room, a plume of white smoke billowed out, and Lukni's voice screamed, Young miss. Kang Min shot a look in that direction and frowned in confusion. What the hell? He immediately bolted over, wondering if Nam Kung-lin was in some kind of trouble. Kang Min stood at the doorway, staring at the alchemy furnace inside billowing white smoke. He went over and helped Nam Kung-lin up. Are you okay? She looked up at the furnace in front of her and replied, I'm fine. It's a shame. It failed again. Kang Min frowned and looked up, asking, You were trying to refine a pill? He let out a small smirk, thinking to himself, I've already awakened the artifact refiner skill, but I still haven't unlocked the alchemist skill. All because of this damn system. Seeing him just standing there, Lukni asked, What are you doing? Kang Min reached his hand out toward the alchemy furnace, thinking that all he had to do was touch an item related to a skill to awaken it. The moment his hand made contact, the system screen flashed. Alchemist skill detected. Would you like to learn it? Kang Min's face lit up with excitement as he laughed out loud. I knew it. Seeing this, Nam Kung-lin and Lukni just stared at him, completely baffled. From their perspective, Kang Min was circling the alchemy furnace, stroking it all over. Nam Kung-lin coughed lightly, approached him, and asked, Young master, do you study alchemy as well? Kang Min gave a small smile, cleared his throat, and replied, This thing? I know a little, I guess? Just then, Seo Jung-chon showed up, pointing a finger at him and yelling, You shameless bastard. How dare you disturb Sister Linner's cultivation? And spout such bullshit? Kang Min turned to face him, angrily shooting back. Seo Jung-chon, I have no beef with you, so why the hell do you always try to start shit with me? The guy pointed right at him and scoffed coldly before ordering. A piece of trash with no cultivation isn't even worth a glance from a martial ancestor like me. Guards, drag this shady motherfucker out and toss him into the street. Butler Bao immediately moved towards Kang Min, replying, Yes, young master. Kang Min frowned, thinking, I'm injured right now. I'm no match for him. Nam Kung-lin, her face flushed with anger, raised her hand and yelled, Insolent! Who let you in here? She glared at him, demanding loudly, Seo Jung-chon, do you think you own this place? You think you can just arrest anyone you please? Seeing this, Kang Min chuckled to himself. My charm really is no joke. Just 1 extra point and I've already got Nam Kung-lin defending me. Butler Bao clasped his hands towards Seo Jung-chon and said, Young master, this is Nam Kung-lin's territory. There are many masters outside. We can't act rashly. Hearing this, he gritted his teeth and yelled, Damn it! You useless coward, only hiding behind a woman. If you've got any balls, step up. Kang Min crossed his arms and replied with disdain, You psycho. He thought to himself, Only an idiot would fight you. I'm just trying to get to the royal capital in one piece. Seeing his reaction, Seo Jung-chon furiously roared, You bastard! I'm going to kill you. Butler Bao grabbed his arm to hold him back. Young master, please calm down. Right then, a system notification popped up. Congratulations, you have unlocked a challenge quest. Objective, win the challenge. Difficulty, hard. Rewards, 1 million EXP, 100,000 alchemy proficiency points, and +3 charisma. Kang Min was stunned, asking in disbelief, +3 charisma points? Seo Jung-chun, who was being held back, kept screaming, "You worthless piece of trash who only hides behind women." Nam Kung Lin frowned and yelled, "That's enough, Seo Jung-chun, get out of here now." He immediately turned to leave. "Damn it, we're leaving." Butler Bao quickly followed, saying, "Yes, sir." But just then, Kang Min's voice cut in. "Hold on." He crossed his arms, a smirk playing on his lips. "I accept your challenge." Hearing this, Seo Jung-chun whipped his head around, thinking in astonishment, "This little shit actually dares to accept?" Butler Bao pointed at Kang Min and boasted, "Our young master, despite his youth, is already a one-star martial ancestor and a low-grade foundation-level alchemist. What makes you think you can even compare to my young master?" Seo Jung-chun took a step forward and asked, "Butler Bao, how about I give him a chance today?" Nam Kung Lin turned to Kang Min, trying to persuade him. "Kang Min, you don't have to do this just because you're angry." Kang Min held up his hands and said, "Since you claim to be so great at alchemy, I'll play your game. Let's have an alchemy duel." Hearing that, Seo Jung-chun burst out laughing. He really doesn't know his own limits. What a pathetic idiot. Gongrin frowned slightly, her face full of worry, and said, "Kang Min, Seo Jung-chun's alchemy talent is even greater than mine. How can you possibly win?" Kang Min gave a slight smile and said, "Don't worry." He looked up at him and continued, "I'm injured right now. We'll duel in 1 month." Hearing this, Jung-chun laughed out loud. "Fine by me. If you lose, you have to get the hell out of here. Stay away from Rin, and your life will be mine to decide." Kang Min immediately shot back, "And what if you lose?" Jung-cheon took out a bag and said, "If I lose, everything in this bag will be yours. It contains everything I own." Kang Min rubbed his hands together, grinning widely. "Well then, thanks in advance." He shot Kang Min a glare, turned to leave, and said, "What's with the mysterious act?" Gongrin walked over, her face full of concern, asking, "Kang Min, why did you agree to that with Seo Jung-chun?" He turned to look at her and replied, "Rin, don't worry. I have my ways. I just need to borrow your room and have you provide the alchemy equipment." Gongrin immediately blushed, agreeing in a small voice. Then she immediately took out a pink bag and said, "All right, I can stay somewhere else for these few days. Inside are all the spirit herbs and the cauldron you can use. You're on your own now." Kang Min looked at the bag in his hand, thinking to himself, "Everything is ready. I just need to level up." Then he sat down cross-legged, using his spiritual energy to guide the spirit herbs from the bag into the cauldron. Kang Min frowned and shouted excitedly, "Burn!" He closed his eyes, quickly using his spiritual energy to control the ingredients, as the system sound chimed repeatedly with a series of notifications. Pill, refinement failed, proficiency +1. Meanwhile, Gong Rin stroked Little Bai's head, murmuring worriedly, "Today is the day of the duel. Kang Min has been in there for a whole month without coming out. I wonder how he's doing." She immediately blushed, cupping her cheeks and wondering, "What's wrong with me? Have I really been thinking about him non-stop this whole month?" A carriage rolled quickly along the road, then came to a sudden halt. Jung Cheon quickly strode towards the carriage and yelled, "Oh, Kangmin, the day of the duel is here. How's it going? Are you too scared to come out?" The surrounding crowd noisily turned their attention to the carriage. "Who's the guy who wants to challenge the young master of the Seo clan in alchemy? Seo Jung Cheon is the youngest genius in the royal capital. What an arrogant fool." The carriage door creaked and then swung open. Gong Rin flew out from inside. She crossed her arms, looked over, and said, "It's still early. What's the rush?" Seeing her, Jung Cheon was taken aback, thinking to himself, "Rin," he frowned, cursing under his breath. "Damn it. Ever since Kang Min showed up, Gong Rin has been getting colder and colder towards me." Immediately after, a loud explosion erupted from inside the carriage. Gong Rin turned her head to see Kang Min get blown out with a cry, his body covered in filth, landing on one knee. The crowd looked at him, covering their noses and yelling, "Holy shit, have you not bathed for a whole month? So disgusting, he's really digging his own grave. This idiot wants to challenge Seo Jung Chon." Kang Min, reeking of a foul stench, walked up to him and said, "I'm ready. Let's begin." Jung Cheon covered his nose, his face dark as he agreed. Jung Cheon leaped back a distance, let out a shout, and a purple light emanated from his hand. Immediately after, from within that purple light, an alchemy cauldron appeared. The crowd saw this and began to buzz with excitement. "It's the Crimson Dragon Divine Cauldron. That's one of the 10 great cauldrons of the Raging Sun Kingdom. Even though it's ranked last, it offers unique advantages for alchemy. I heard the Seo clan spent a massive fortune on this treasure. I can't believe a piece of trash like him is making young Master Seo take this so seriously. What the hell do you know? Young Master Seo doesn't even see that guy as a threat. He's just showing off for the young miss." Kang Min raised his hand, his face full of greed, shouting, "Now, that's a fine piece of equipment." Jung Cheon raised his hand, his face full of contempt, and said, "A country bumpkin like you dares to challenge me? How ridiculous." Kang Min laughed loudly, pointed at it, and asked, "You already said, if I win, the contents of your storage bag will be mine. Does that include this cauldron?" Hearing this, Jung Cheon's face filled with hesitation. He calculated silently. This bastard is waiting for me to refuse. He's trying to find an excuse to back out. No, I can't let him have his way. Thinking this, he immediately waved his hand and confirmed, "Of course it's included. As long as you beat me, everything in my storage bag is yours." He sneered inwardly. "It's not like you can beat me anyway." Kang Min laughed heartily, snapped his fingers, and declared, "All right, let's begin." Jung Cheon raised his hand, guiding the ingredients into the cauldron and shouting, "You little punk, today I'll show you what a true alchemist is." The surrounding crowd saw this and praised excitedly. Young Master Seo really lives up to his reputation. Not only is young Master Seo a low-grade foundation-level alchemist, he's also a martial ancestor. His future is truly limitless. Gongrin watched from the side, thinking, that Seo Jung Cheon is a real asshole, but his talent is undeniably impressive. The cauldron emitted a boiling sound and began to tremble gently. Jung Cheon waved his hand, opening the lid and peering at the light radiating from within. Right after that, a pill radiating a white light flew out. He quickly raised his hand to catch it. Jung Cheon looked at the light shining from his palm, asking uncertainly, "I did it?" His face filled with smug pride as he exclaimed excitedly, "I can't believe I was lucky enough to refine a high-grade foundation-level pill." A golden pill lay quietly in his palm. Jung Cheon held the pill up towards Gongrin, showing it off. "Lin He, look." She took the pill, saw the light radiating from it, and said, "It really is a high-grade pill." A bystander immediately asked in confusion, "Hey, what the hell does high-grade even mean? How come we've never heard of that?" Hearing this, Lin He explained seriously. Pills are classified as normal grade, high grade, and supreme grade. She stared intently at the pill in her hand, adding, "Usually, an alchemist can only refine normal grade pills. Unless they have a stroke of serendipity, they might refine a high grade or even a supreme grade pill, but it's all based on pure luck. Even a famous alchemist can't guarantee they'll produce a high grade pill every single time." Hearing this, the crowd turned to look at Kang Min and sneered. That dumbass dared to challenge young Master Seo Trung Kyeon, and it's this damn difficult. Looks like this competition is already over. He walked over, scratching his head in embarrassment, and said, Lin He." What Kang Min said next nearly made the surrounding crowd faint from sheer disbelief. "Do you have a cauldron? Can I borrow it?" They looked at him with utter contempt, laughing loudly. Where the hell did this moron crawl out from? Challenging someone to an alchemy duel without even owning a damn cauldron. Young Master Seo Trung Kyeon has already refined a high-grade pill. This punk should just give up. You're gonna lose anyway. Stop embarrassing yourself. Kang Min scratched his head and sheepishly admitted, "That cauldron of yours, I kinda broke it." Lin Hee's face instantly darkened, and she shrieked, "What? That was a top-tier treasure. My clan paid a hefty price for it," she cried internally. "My precious cauldron." Kang Min stood there watching Lin He hug her knees, sulking in a corner. Then he held up one finger and promised softly, "Don't worry, I'm a proper alchemist now. I'll refine so many pills for you. You'll be able to buy a dozen new cauldrons." She put a hand to her forehead and stammered, "Kang Min, stop joking around. You'd need at least 10 supreme-grade pills to buy a cauldron like that." Kang Min raised his fist and shouted, "Don't worry, I can do it." Hearing this, Seo Trung Kyeon, who was nearby, crossed his arms and snorted coldly. "Even I was lucky just to produce a single high-grade pill. You want to refine a supreme-grade one? In your dreams, asshole?" The surrounding crowd also looked on with utter disdain, jeering loudly. This guy is a fucking shameless liar. A country bumpkin who doesn't even own a cauldron wants to refine 10 supreme-grade pills? Forget supreme grade, you'd have to be insanely lucky just to make a single high-grade pill. Kang Min stroked his chin, wondering to himself, what the hell am I going to do without a cauldron? Right after that, he suddenly noticed a nearby flag. Kang Min quickly ran towards it, saying, "I'll be right back." The crowd heard this and wondered aloud, what the hell is that kid up to? He's not actually planning to run away, is he? After a moment, Kang Min returned, carrying a large wok and announcing, "I'm back!" Lin He stared at him, utterly stunned. Then, Kang Min sat down cross-legged on the ground and placed the iron wok on his lap. The crowd was stunned, asking in disbelief, "Holy shit, is this kid really going to use a wok for alchemy? Is he insane? I think he's just brain dead." Seeing this, Lin He shouted in shock, "Kang Min, stop screwing around." He grinned widely, held up the wok and declared, "I'm not screwing around. This wok might not be as good as a cauldron, but it'll definitely get the job done." The wok had an inscription, "Jiangqiu Ironware, genuine quality, authentic craftsmanship, a must-buy." She squeezed her eyes shut, smacked the wok out of his hands, and screamed, "You! That's enough!" The wok clattered to the ground and rolled away. Lin He got right in front of him, clenching her fists as she asked, "I know you're not as good as Seo Trung-cheon, and you broke my cauldron. I don't blame you for that, but why do you have to be such a show-off?" Kang Min lowered his head and asked in a cold voice, "Lin He, all this time, did you really think I was just a braggart?" Lin He raised her fist and shouted, "Well, aren't you? Using a damn wok for alchemy. Do you take everyone here for a complete fool?" He brushed past her, saying, "I understand now." Lin He stood frozen, frowning as she thought, "I'm sorry, Kang Min, for hurting your pride, but you're definitely going to lose this competition. If you don't give up now, Seo Trung-keon might actually kill you." Right at that moment, Seo Trung-keon shouted with a smug grin, "Hey kid, if you get on your knees and admit defeat right now, I might spare your pathetic dog life." Kang Min stopped in front of the iron wok, squatted down, picked it up and said, "Thank God, the bottom isn't busted." Kang Min lifted the iron wok, grinned, and gave a thumbs down while shouting, "You want me to surrender? A piece of trash like you isn't even worthy." Seo Trung-keon was taken aback and retorted, "This son of a bitch is still talking tough." Lin He looked at him, worrying, Kang Min. He turned to face her and said, "I know you're afraid I'll lose and that Seo Trung-cheon will kill me, and that's why you tried to convince me to quit," Kang Min said with a face full of confidence. From the very start, this duel was never just about talk. Seo Trung-keon pointed at Kang Min and laughed boisterously. "At this point, you're still wasting your breath. I'd love to see what the hell you can possibly make with that busted-ass wok." Kang Min's eyebrows knitted together as he retorted, "Then open your damn dog eyes and watch closely." Kang Min raised his hands, and with a shout, a flame erupted. He placed one hand under the iron wok, using his spiritual energy from above to regulate the heat. The crowd, seeing this, burst into a state of shocked disbelief. He's controlling the fire with his bare palm. That's a high-level fire control technique. Even Seo Trung-keon can't pull that off, and his fire control is supposed to be top tier. But I've never heard of anyone using a damn claw to refine pills. Right after that, Kang Min raised his hand and yelled, "Ingredients." Looking at the herbs flying around him, he commanded, "Get in there." They quickly fell inside that claw. Seeing this, they stared wide-eyed in astonishment, exclaiming, "In all my life, this is the first time I've ever seen this kind of pill refining." He threw all 10 sets of ingredients in at the same time. Is he trying to refine 10 top-grade foundation-level pills? This motherfucker's crazy. Even with a treasure cauldron, I've never heard of anyone refining 10 foundation-level pills at once. Kang Min let out a cold laugh and said, "Just you wait and see." He raised his hand, using a low flame to simmer and a high flame to sear. The surrounding crowd, their faces full of contempt, sneered, "Well, I'll be damned. I'm really seeing something new today. I've seen plenty of normal pill refining, but I've never witnessed anything like this. There's no way this bastard will succeed, but watching his little performance makes this trip worthwhile." Kang Min raised a hand, frowning as he asked, "Not gonna succeed?" He raised his hand, levitating the iron claw, and declared, "Today, I'll open your damn eyes to what true pill refining is." Streams of blue light began to emerge from within the iron claw. Kang Min clenched his fist with all his might and roared, "Form into pills for me!" The faint blue light rapidly converged, and he immediately grabbed the iron claw, shouting, "Congeal!" The crowd was stunned, shouting, "It's over. This is way too much bullshit. I feel like this little punk is insulting my intelligence." Kang Min tapped the iron claw, announcing, 10 top-grade foundation spirit pills. He staggered forward with a cry. Kung Lin, who had closed her eyes, heard a thud and looked up to see him collapsing to the ground. Kang Min looked up and shouted, "I've won that treasure cauldron for you, right?" Hearing this, Trung Thien frowned and yelled, "You little shit! I didn't feel any fluctuations of pill formation." He clasped his hands behind his back and said smugly, "Hurry up and admit defeat. Stop your damn bluffing." Kang Min replied calmly, "My apologies. The refining process was just too fast. The fluctuations couldn't keep up." Hearing that, Trung Thien was startled and grunted in confusion. Kung Lin held down her skirt as it was blown up by the energy radiating from the pills inside the iron claw. "My skirt!" Trung Thien shielded his eyes and shouted, "It's blinding! What the hell is going on? This is the fluctuation of pill formation." The surrounding crowd gasped and murmured, "Such a massive release of energy. Could it be that Kang Min can manifest the pill aura before the pills are even complete?" Even if he didn't refine top-grade foundation-level pills, Kang Min is still a world-defying genius just for this. Kung Lin immediately crouched down and asked, "Did you really succeed?" She reached for the iron claw, saying, "Let me see." Kung Lin picked up a pill that was glowing with a faint blue light to inspect it. A moment later, her face filled with shock as she screamed, "It has 3 pill veins! It's a top-grade foundation-level pill." The crowd's eyes widened and their jaws dropped as they roared, "What? He actually refined a top-grade foundation-level pill like that?" Is that even possible? Refining 10 pills at once. Getting even one top-grade pill would be a stroke of insane luck. No way. Kung Lin picked up another one. Let me check the second pill. She looked at the pill in her hand and shouted, "It's top grade too." Kang Min wiped the blood from his nose and said, "You don't need to check them one by one." A golden light emanated from his body as he raised his hand and commanded, "Let the hazy mist covering the pills disperse." The crowd quickly gathered around, shouting, 10 pills! 10 top-grade foundation-level pills refined at the same time, using a damn claw. Holy shit, am I losing my mind? How can something so absurd exist in this world? Kung Lin urgently asked Kang Min, "How on earth did you do it?" He just smiled and replied, "It's my talent." Hearing this, she frowned, hesitating, "But just a few days ago, you were." Kang Min, smiling brightly, said, "I'll explain it to you later. Let's take care of the problem in front of us first." Trung Thien glanced at the focused crowd and thought to himself, "This is not good, better to sneak away now." Just then, Kang Min's voice rang out, stopping him in his tracks. "So Trung Thien." With a big smile on his face, he quickly walked over and asked, "And where do you think you're going?" He turned his head and stammered, "What? What do you want?" Kang Min grinned, cracking his knuckles as he replied, "What do I want? We made a deal. You lost, so hand over your stuff." Trung Thien's face flushed with agitation as he shot back, "Impossible. How could a classless piece of trash like you ever defeat me?" He pointed a finger at Kang Min and roared, "It must have been you guys. That's right, you must have cheated." Hearing this, Kung Lin frowned and snapped, "So Trung Thien, what the hell are you talking about?" Lukni, who was beside her, also yelled, "You're the one who made the challenge, and now you're trying to blame us." The onlookers sighed and commented, "It seems this incident has really rattled young master, so, well, it's understandable. He's the #1 genius of the royal capital, yet he lost to some nobody. How could he possibly accept it? But so what if he can't?" Kang Min's pill refining skills are on a level that even famous alchemists would find hard to match. Kang Min crossed his arms and asked coldly, "So Trung Thien, are you going back on your word?" He raised his hand, snorted, and yelled, "You want my storage bag? In your dreams?" He cracked his knuckles hard as he walked forward, saying, "Fine by me, I knew you'd pull this shit from the start." Trung Thien's face was filled with rage as he raised his hand and yelled, "You arrogant little bastard." Kung Lin immediately raised her hand to warn him, "Kang Min, be careful! He's a one-star martial ancestor!" Trung Thien erupted with a faint blue energy and charged forward, laughing loudly, warning him now, "It's far too late for that." He raised his sword high, screaming, "Die!" Just as Chu Tian's sword came crashing down, Kang Min's figure vanished in a flash. The surrounding crowd yelled in shock, "Holy shit, he's fast!" We knew that Kang Min guy was good at alchemy, but his cultivation level must be pretty average. Doesn't he know that besides being a genius alchemist, Chu Tian is also a top-tier cultivator? What a damn waste of an alchemy prodigy. With a worried expression, Namgung Ling yelled out, "Kang Min." Holding his sword, Chu Tian tilted his head back and laughed maniacally. "I'm the real alchemy genius. No one can even fucking compare to me." Suddenly, Kang Min's figure appeared behind him and asked, "Oh, really?" Chu Tian let out a confused grunt and turned around, only to see Kang Min with his hands clasped behind his back, pressing, "Is that so?" "All I see is a piece of trash." The surrounding crowd stared wide-eyed and shouted, "How the hell did he get behind Chu Tian? What just happened?" A man muttered, stroking his beard. "That Kang Min punk must have used his movement technique to dodge Chu Tian's attack." Another person heard this and argued back, "Impossible. I swear I saw young Master Chu Tian's blade hit Kang Min squarely." Stroking his beard, the first man guessed, "What you saw was probably just an afterimage." Hearing this, the crowd gasped. "An afterimage? Just how fucking fast do you have to be to leave one of those?" And that's without even going all out as a one-star martial ancestor. So, Kang Min isn't just a master alchemist, his movement technique is insane too. Chu Tian roared in disbelief. "Impossible! I'm going to kill you!" He let out a battle cry and thrust his sword forward with all his strength. Kang Min simply leaned to one side to dodge, remarking, "You're too slow." Seeing that Kang Min was effortlessly dodging all his attacks, Chu Tian screamed, "I'm going to fucking kill you!" The man in the crowd saw this and shouted, "It's just as I thought. Kang Min's movement technique is so damn fluid, we can't afford to get on his bad side. We'd better start sucking up to him if we want a peaceful life." Kang Min used his movement technique to zip around Chu Tian, then backed away with his arms crossed, saying, "Playtime's over." He then shot towards him, declaring, "Time to end this." Kang Min delivered a swift kick right to Chu Tian's face. He then snatched the storage bag right off his body. Clutching the bag in his hand, Kang Min grinned and said, "This storage bag is mine now." Chu Tian clutched his chest, coughing up a mouthful of blood. Kang Min turned his head, gathered spiritual energy in his hand, and added, "Oh, that's right. The Red Dragon Divine Cauldron is mine now, too." He then opened the storage bag and absorbed the cauldron into it. The surrounding crowd freaked out. Chu Tian is a one-star martial ancestor, and Kang Min just took him down in a single fucking move. His strength is immeasurable. I bet that kid is at least a two-star martial ancestor. A two-star martial ancestor at his age? And he's an alchemist who can craft top-grade foundation-building pills? This kid is an absolute monster. Chu Tian clutched his chest and struggled to his feet, asking, Kang Min, do you really think you can just walk away with my stuff after beating me? Hearing this, Kang Min crossed his arms and said, Oh? You still have an ace up your sleeve? Go on. Let's see it. At those words, Chu Tian's face twisted with rage as he roared, Chu He! Get out here! Chu He appeared, tightly gripping the blade in his hand and roaring, Your orders, young master. The crowd felt the immense power radiating from Chu He and broke into a panic. Is that the aura of a 4-star martial ancestor? Holy shit, we forgot Chu Tian has a 4-star martial ancestor as a bodyguard. Kang Min is totally screwed this time. With a vicious look on his face, Chu Tian waved his hand and commanded, Kill him. Raising his long blade, Chu He charged forward, replying, Understood. Chu Tian then scowled and shouted loudly, Kang Min, there are some people you just shouldn't have messed with. Chu He's eyes flashed as he brought his long blade down with immense force, yelling, Kid, try to be smarter in your next life. The surrounding crowd immediately erupted. A 4-star martial ancestor. There's no way Kang Min survives this. Serves him right for pissing off Chu Tian. A man approached Nam Gung Ling and began, My lady, should we? She stared straight ahead and said firmly, Kang Min isn't afraid. He must have a plan, so stay out of it. Immediately after she spoke, Kang Min simply raised one hand to block the incoming blast of purple energy. Chu He broke out in a cold sweat and screamed, while Chu Tian also yelled in shock, How is that possible? Kang Min just smirked slightly and crushed the energy projection with his bare hand. With a wide grin on his face, Kang Min held up 2 fingers and said, You're not wrong. There are some people you really shouldn't provoke. Then, Kang Min fired a beam of golden energy from those 2 fingers. It pierced straight through Chu He's chest, making him cough up a mouthful of blood. The onlookers' jaws dropped as they screamed, Holy fuck! One move! He killed a 4-star martial ancestor in a single goddamn move? Seeing this, Nam Gung Ling frowned and said, We completely underestimated him. Kang Min pointed a finger at Chu Tian and yelled his name, Chu Tian, his face pale as a ghost. Chu Tian stammered, Kang Min, what do you want? Kang Min's entire body glowed with golden light as he charged forward, yelling, What do I want? You lost to me in alchemy, and then you tried to kill me twice? Covered in a cold sweat, Chu Tian shrieked in terror. You, stay away from me! Kang Min raised his hand, using his spiritual energy to choke Chu Tian as he roared, Give me your life! Chu Tian desperately turned his head towards her, pleading, Nam Gung Ling, save me. Please, save me. With a look of utter desperation, he yelled, Nam Gung Ling, just tell Kang Min to let me go, and I swear I will never bother you again. Nam Gung Ling hesitated, murmuring, She wondered to herself, should I really save him? But Chu Tian pointed a finger at her and threatened, Nam Gung Ling, don't you forget, if I die here today, the Chu clan will absolutely demand an accounting from the Nam Gung clan. Hearing this, Gung Ling frowned and shouted, Still trying to threaten me? Kang Min, do whatever the hell you want with him, but the Seo clan is powerful, so you better be careful. Kang Min glanced at her, thinking that if Seo Jung Cheon died here, it would only bring more trouble for Gung Ling. He immediately waved his hand, sending the guy flying, and said, Seo Jung Cheon, killing a piece of trash like you would just dirty my damn hands. Immediately after, his clothes were torn to shreds. Jung Cheon covered his junk, pointed at Kang Min, and tearfully threatened, Kang Min, I'll fucking kill you for this. With that, he immediately turned and fled, shouting, You just wait! The Seo clan won't let you get away with this! The surrounding crowd saw this and roared with laughter. Damn, his skin is so pale. Young Master Seo really takes good care of himself, doesn't he? Kang Min and Gung Ling stood still, watching Jung Cheon's retreating figure. She looked at Kang Min and whispered a reminder. Kang Min, the Seo clan is one of the 3 great clans of the Fierce Sun Kingdom. You've pissed them off now, so you need to be careful. Kang Min glanced back and replied, Don't worry, this was all part of the plan. Hearing these words, Gung Ling lowered her head, unable to stop a sigh. She then quickly turned to leave, thinking to herself, Kang Min is so exceptional, he'll definitely become the heir to a major power. I'm just worrying over nothing. Sunlight illuminated the entire capital of the Fierce Sun Kingdom as Kang Min and Gung Ling walked through the city gates. He looked up at his surroundings and shouted in excitement, So this is the royal capital? Holy shit, it's massive. Then Kang Min lowered his head, his eyes flashing as he thought, Kang clan, I've arrived. Gung Ling turned to him and suggested, If you don't have a place to stay, you can crash at my pill pavilion. Kang Min walked up with a huge grin, grabbed her hand and shouted, Thank you so much, my dear Gungling. I'll be sure to repay you. Gungling immediately blushed, snatched her hand back, and hurried forward, saying, Who asked you to repay me? Naki closed her eyes and piped up. You're a real opportunist, aren't you? Our young miss is royalty, you know. How dare you call her dear? Kang Min was startled and exclaimed, What? Royalty? He was shocked, thinking, Holy hell, I can't believe I hit on such a big shot. If I can use her connections. Blushing, Gungling turned and snapped, Who gave you permission to say that? Naki immediately lowered her head and apologized meekly. I'm sorry, young miss. The sun beat down on the Pill Pavilion, which stood majestically, its peaks touching the clouds. Kang Min looked up at the scene before him and yelled, This city is nothing like my hometown. The buildings here are so damn grand. Gungling turned to him and called out, I'll have a maid show you to your room to rest. In a few days, there's an alchemy tournament. You should join. She looked at Kang Min and said, I'll be leaving first. He immediately turned and acknowledged her. Kang Min watched Gungling leave and thought, I've just arrived in the capital and don't have a foothold yet. If I can make a name for myself in that tournament, I might be able to find a powerful backer. Just then, a maid approached and introduced herself. Young master, my name is Ching Ching. Please follow me. Kang Min calmly replied, Lead the way. Right after that, the two of them quickly entered a room. Ching Ching gestured inside and explained, This bed is made from jade from the high mountain snow plains, which aids in cultivation. This vase holds a moon spirit flower, which helps to calm the mind and steady one's chi. This chair is made from 1,000-year-old golden sandalwood and can help heal wounds. Hearing this, Kang Min's face flushed with awe. Damn, this is royalty for you? Everything is top-shelf shit. Right after that, Kang Min immediately started touching everything in the room, exclaiming, This bed is so cool. The flower smells incredible. Man, this chair is hard. Standing behind him, Ching Ching lowered her head and cursed inwardly, What a fucking hick. Kang Min noticed her reaction and thought, Shit, I can't embarrass myself. He covered his mouth and coughed. Then, he held up a ring with a smile and said, Miss Ching Ching, could I trouble you to trade all the items in this ring for some medicinal herbs? I need to refine some pills. She took the ring and replied, Of course, young master. As Kang Min watched her leave, he called out, Wait a second. She turned back and asked softly, Yes? Kang Min tossed another ring to her, saying, This one's for you. A huge smile spread across Ching Ching's face as she caught it with both hands and replied, Thank you so much, young master. In her own room, Gungling was watching the entire exchange through a scrying mirror. She couldn't help but murmur, Kang Min is certainly a generous person, gifting a storage ring to a mere servant. Meanwhile, Kang Min was on his knees, tears streaming down his face, wailing, You think I fucking wanted to do that? I don't have a single valuable thing left to my name. I'm completely broke now. Later that night, 3 beams of light shot into the sky with a loud bang, exploding into 3 brilliant fireworks. Outside, a massive line of people was waiting to enter the Pill Pavilion. The stands were packed with a huge crowd, holding banners that read Alchemy Exchange Tournament, Pill Pavilion's Grand Competition, and Kang Clan for the win. An old nanny with a cane led Gungling into the competition arena. She scanned the area, wondering to herself, That's weird. I told Kang Min the tournament was today, so why hasn't he shown up yet? Gung Myung, holding a fan, glanced at her and asked, Imperial sister, you've been scanning the crowd ever since you got here. Are you looking for someone? Startled, she immediately waved her hands in denial. Of course not. He looked forward and announced, More than half of the contestants in this tournament are desolate rank alchemists, and there are even a few martial rank ones. Even a genius like Wu Wendao only reached the mid-tier martial level. They're all just trash. Gong Ling closed her eyes and replied with an awkward smile, I can't compare to my royal brother's natural talent. Gong Ming looked up at the members of the Namgung royal clan, Chu Heng, Chung Seon, and Zhou Wanzhong sitting before him, frowning as he asked doubtfully, The grand elder of the Chu clan is here too? So why don't I see his son, Chu Zhongtian? Word is, Chu Zhongtian lost an alchemy duel a few days ago and had his cultivation destroyed. The crowd immediately started whispering with sighs, What a damn shame, Chu Zhongtian had already reached the marshal level. And now he's crippled. Being so arrogant never ends well. Chu Hong slammed his hand on the armrest of his chair, his brow furrowed as he furiously shouted, That's enough talk. Wanzhong, who was sitting next to him, immediately threw his head back and let out an arrogant laugh. He glanced over and asked, Uncle Chu Hong, wasn't Chu Zhongtian the genius of the capital city? Could he really be that useless? Guk Gyong, beside him, also chimed in. That's right. He looked towards Chu Heng and asked, Our Namgung royal clan is on par with the Chu and Zhou clans, so who the hell had the balls to provoke you? He gritted his teeth tightly. He let out a cold snort and said, It wouldn't kill you two to talk a little less. Chu Heng's face was ferocious as he snarled, Just wait until I get my hands on that bastard, then you'll see what the Chu clan is capable of. Just then, a small crack appeared on the roof. Chu Hang looked up and asked, "What's going on?" "Someone dares to cause a ruckus in the alchemy pavilion." Immediately after, Kang Min fell from above, screaming frantically. "Save me!" Seeing this, the crowd below stared wide-eyed and gaped, shouting, "Holy shit! Someone's falling from the goddamn sky! My god, where the hell did this guy pop out from?" A loud explosion boomed. A cloud of dust immediately billowed up. The crowd below looked at the thick smoke in front of them and clamored, "Who is this guy? Daring to cause a scene in the alchemy pavilion. That's some powerful energy. Looks like a pill explosion." Kang Min crawled out from inside the large crater. He coughed and said, "My fire control was off." A flash of light appeared, and Elder Wu, leaning on a staff, stood before him and questioned, "Who dares to cause a disturbance in the alchemy pavilion?" Hearing this, Kang Min frowned and fell into deep thought. He looked up at her and wondered to himself, "Is she a martial venerable expert?" He lowered his head and let out a loud cough. Then Kang Min immediately cupped his hands and said, "My apologies, senior. This junior was refining a pill and carelessly caused it to explode." Hearing this, Elder Wu snorted coldly and questioned, "Are you trying to fool this old woman?" She frowned and asked in disbelief, "You're just an alchemist that Gong Ling brought back. How could you possibly cause a pill explosion that releases such immense energy?" Kang Min immediately held out a piece of pill residue and said, "Senior, please examine the dregs." Elder Wu took the pill residue and inspected it. Then she asked loudly, "This, is this little brat telling the truth?" She closed her eyes and calmly spoke, "Considering this is your first offense, I will not hold it against you this time." Hearing this, Kang Min immediately cupped his hands and said, "Many thanks." Right after, Elder Wu turned to leave, saying, "You can just do chores in the alchemy pavilion for 10 or 20 years. He frowned and thought to himself, "Are you fucking kidding me? I still have a major score to settle and I haven't even found my wife yet. How can I stay here for decades?" She secretly snorted, thinking this kid had decent potential, and this was the perfect excuse to keep him here. Kang Min immediately cupped his hands and asked, "Senior, could you possibly change the punishment? 10, 20 years is far too long." Elder Wu glanced back over her shoulder, let out a cold snort and said, "A different punishment is fine. Then you just have to refine a foundation-level pill." She glanced at him, thinking to herself, "Gong Ling said you were a foundation-level alchemist. I want to see just how you'll refine a foundation-level pill." Hearing this, Kang Min touched his chin and exclaimed, "That? Piece of cake." Elder Wu was startled by his words and asked, "What did you say?" The people of the alchemy pavilion were immediately stunned and began to murmur loudly. "What's this guy's background? Daring to bargain with the martial elder. He's so young, yet he talks so big, even claiming he can refine a foundation-level pill. I've never seen anyone so arrogant." Chu Hang stared intently at Kang Min's figure on the stage. His brow furrowed as he exclaimed, "According to our intel, that bastard is Kang Min." Wanzhong, beside him, was immediately startled and asked, "Kang Min from the Kang clan?" Chung Son raised a hand, clenching it into a fist as she asked, "It's Kang Min. Why is it him?" He glanced at her and inquired, "You know this guy?" Chung Son gave a forced laugh and stammered in response. "I don't know him," she thought to herself. "Zhou Wanzhong is forcing me to marry him. For the sake of the sect, I absolutely cannot let him know about my relationship with Kang Min." Meanwhile, Chu Hang stared intently at Kang Min's figure above. His brow furrowed as he made a silent vow. "Damn it. This little bastard harmed my Tian'er. I absolutely cannot let him off the hook." Chu Hang looked towards Wu Wendao, who was nearby. He stared at Wendao, thinking, "I have a plan." Then, Chu Hang's voice rang out, calling, "Wu Wendao." He glanced over, questioning with his eyes. He quickly walked over and said in a low voice, "Help me out?" Hearing this, Wendao frowned and replied, "All right, I'll help you. But after this is done, the Chu clan and I will have nothing more to do with each other." Chu Hang smiled brightly and replied softly, "Of course." Then he let out a cold snort and quickly walked away. From behind, he watched Wendao's retreating back and thought, "None of you are getting away." Up on the competition stage, Elder Wu calmly agreed, "Very well." She frowned and declared, "If you can refine a foundation-level pill, I will allow you to leave this place." Wendao came up from behind and called out, "Senior Elder Wu." With a respectful expression, he cupped his hands and asked, "This little brother must be bored refining a pill all by himself. I wonder if this junior might be allowed to have a match with him." Immediately, the crowd below gasped in shock. What the hell? Mundu wants to have an alchemy duel with this kid? Unless they're mortal enemies, who the fuck has time for that shit? Don't tell me this punk pissed off Mundu too? Mundu is a mid-tier foundation-level alchemist. Hearing this, Elder Wu closed her eyes and said, "If Kang Min agrees, then this old woman has no objections." He then glanced at Kang Min and asked, "Little brother, what do you say?" With one hand on his hip, he excitedly exclaimed, "An alchemy duel?" He sneered inwardly, thinking, "You think I didn't see you whispering with Seo Heng? This has got to be his fucking scheme." Moondu held his head high and asked, "What's the matter? Are you backing out?" Kang Min gave a slight smile and countered, "It doesn't sound too bad, but what's in it for me?" He clasped his hands behind his back and asked again, "Isn't becoming the Pavilion Master's honorary disciple enough for you?" Kang Min crossed his arms and replied, "Of course it isn't." The crowd below yelled out in discontent, "This Kang Min kid has some fucking nerve. He doesn't even give a damn about being an honorary disciple of the Pavilion Master. What an arrogant prick." Mundu's lips curled into a sneer. Then he raised his hand, summoning his weapons and asking, "How about these dozen or so foundation-level artifacts?" Seeing this, the crowd's eyes lit up as they shouted, "Holy shit! Mundu is so generous! Alchemists really are loaded as fuck! A dozen foundation-level artifacts? Even an ordinary great clan couldn't afford that." Kang Min closed his eyes, then glanced over and said it was too little. Mundu frowned, gritted his teeth, and said, "Brother, don't push your damn luck." Next, he pointed to the ring on Mundu's hand and proposed, "Throw your storage ring in with that pile as the bet, and we have a deal." The crowd below gasped and murmured, "Is this guy trying to provoke him? Is he trying to pull this stunt to make Mundu back out? If you're too scared to duel, just fucking say so. Why make excuses?" A corner of Mundu's mouth lifted as he agreed, "Fine, as you wish." He held the ring high in his hand and asked, "I'm just very curious. What could you possibly put up as your stake?" Hearing this, Kang Min smiled slightly and said, "Of course, it's something you want." Mundu raised his fist, asking, "What do you have? Could it be better than my storage ring?" Kang Min pointed to himself and asked with a grin, "How about my life?" The crowd immediately erupted. "This guy is fucking insane, daring to bet his own life. He's got a death wish. How could he possibly be a match for Mundu? Damn, this kid's got balls." Hearing this, Mundu frowned and wondered to himself, "Does this punk really think he can beat me?" Kang Min looked at Mundu and asked, "Do you dare?" He immediately clenched his fist and shouted, "Deal." Right after, an announcement rang out. The duel between the unknown junior, Kang Min, and the mid-tier spirit-level alchemist, Mundu. Gong Rin looked over at the composed Kang Min, frowning as she whispered, "Why is he so damn confident?" Gong Myung, beside her, glanced over and exclaimed, "If this guy actually beats Mundu, I might consider recruiting him." Gong Rin lowered her head and replied softly, "Don't worry, he won't agree." He looked smug, raising an eyebrow and saying, "No one can refuse me." Elder Wu frowned at the two of them and announced, "You will refine a low-tier spirit-level pill." She slammed her staff on the ground and declared, "The Yin-Yang Creation Pill!" Mundu frowned and shouted, "You little shit, you're not walking away with your life today." Then, using his spiritual energy, he brought out the medicinal ingredients. Mundu raised both hands, channeling his spiritual energy to control the alchemy cauldron. Kang Min stroked his chin and snorted, thinking he was much stronger than that useless trash Seo Young Cheon. Right after, the alchemy cauldron trembled slightly, and a phantom image of a bagua shot into the air. The crowd immediately erupted. "He finished one already? That was so fast," as expected of the best of the younger generation. "It looks like Kang Min is screwed." He rubbed his nose, glanced down at the crowd, and muttered, "Do you guys have to be so damn dramatic? Did he bribe you or what?" Kang Min then took out an alchemy cauldron, saying, "Time for me to start." The crowd looked at him and shouted, "Hey look, Kang Min's finally doing something. The other guy has already finished a pill, and he's just starting now." They glared at Kang Min, snorting coldly and yelling, "He's already lost." "It makes no difference whether he starts or not." Kang Min took out a storage bag, snorted, and said, "We'll see what you guys have to say in a bit." Then, Kang Min grabbed all the medicinal ingredients with both hands and threw them in, shouting, "All of you, get in there." The crowd was instantly dumbfounded, shouting in disbelief. "Did he just dump all the ingredients in at once? What do you think you're doing, making a stew? Holy shit, is this kid here to be a fucking joke? And I actually thought this brat had some skills. Turns out he's just a complete moron." Seeing this, Elder Wu also cried out, "Little Rin!" She glanced at Gong Rin and asked uncertainly, "This boy can refine foundation-level pills, so why would he make a mistake like this?" She gave an awkward laugh and replied softly, "His technique, I've never seen anything like it before." Gong Rin looked at him, thinking to herself, if they knew Kang Min could refine pills in a single breath, they wouldn't be so doubtful. On the stage, a series of loud explosions echoed as light burst from the alchemy cauldron. Someone in the crowd pointed and yelled, "Look, Moon Do has successfully refined another pill." Right after pill flew out from the cauldron. The crowd stared at the pills and shouted, "Holy crap, he even got a mid-tier spirit level one. He's a true genius. Does this mean Moon Do is already a mid-tier spirit level alchemist?" Moondu immediately cupped his fists towards Elder Wu and called out, "Senior." With a respectful expression, he reported, "I have not failed the task. With 10 sets of ingredients, I refined 4 pills, one of which reached the mid-tier." She looked towards Wen Dao and exclaimed, To refine a mid-grade martial pill at such a young age, with a 4-to-1 success rate, is truly rare. Just then, a sound rang out, making the two of them look over in confusion. Quick, look! What the hell is he doing? Kang Min was in a horse stance, letting out a groaning sound. The crowd watching his trembling body started shouting. This guy's clearly just cooking, and he's still putting on an act. Enough already. I've never seen someone so shameless. Kang Min bit his lip, thinking to himself that with his current strength, he could refine 10 pills in one go, but that would be way too over the top. Then he waved his hand and shouted, "Open for me," silently calculating that refining just 7 pills this time would be enough to win. The crowd below sneered and yelled, "Still pulling this mysterious bullshit at a time like this? Just admit defeat already." Immediately after, a blue pill shot out. They looked towards it and cried out, "He actually refined one." To be able to refine a single pill from that messy pile of herbs. This guy's got some skill. The alchemy furnace hummed again. Right after, pills of different colors flew out one by one. Kang Min looked up at the pills and asked with a smile, "How about that?" The crowd below was stunned and screamed, "Oh my god, am I seeing things? He can refine 7 pills? I must be dreaming. This can't be real. Even if he did, they're probably just desolate grade at best." Immediately after, a loud explosion echoed. The crowd stared in shock at the pill that flew out, a collective gasp and a curse erupting from them. Wen Dao's eyes went wide as he stammered, "A Su Supreme Grade pill." The crowd below shouted, "Are you fucking kidding me? How can this guy refine a Supreme Grade pill? That looks like a Supreme Grade Martial pill, not a desolate grade one." Kang Min covered his mouth and laughed loudly. "Don't get ahead of yourselves. If you're this shocked, then take another look." He immediately struck the alchemy furnace. Again, various cracks appeared on the furnace. The crowd watched the fragments fly out and yelled, "Another Supreme Grade pill! How is this possible? My eyes must be playing tricks on me." The light from that pill radiated everywhere. Wen Dao collapsed to the ground, mumbling, "How can this be?" He looked up and screamed, "I must be dreaming." Elder Wu looked at Kang Min refining pills on the stage. Her brows furrowed as she mused. He refined 8 pills, and 2 of them are Supreme Grade. Gong Ling covered her mouth in wonder. How is Kang Min's alchemy skill so powerful? Gong Ming, with a broad smile, exclaimed, "This kid has given this king a massive surprise. He might have a chance to follow me." Yuan Zong frowned in annoyance, wondering, "Damn it, how can this worthless piece of trash be such an outstanding alchemist?" Qing Xuan, beside him, also blushed, thinking, "How can this scoundrel be so formidable?" Kang Min smiled faintly at Wen Dao across from him, crossing his arms and thinking, "A bunch of morons. My success rate is already at 100%. I'm not even showing you my full hand today. I'm afraid I'd scare you all away." He covered his mouth and let out a cough. Kang Min immediately clasped his hands and asked, "Senior, can you announce the results now?" Hearing this, Elder Wu snapped back to reality and replied, "Of course." Her voice rang out as she announced, "In this alchemy battle, Kang Min is the winner." The crowd below chanted his name, "Kang Min, Kang Min, Kang Min, Kang Min." Wen Dao's face was ashen as he sat there muttering, "I lost," just like that. Sunlight shone directly into the assassin's tavern. Elder Meng's subordinate quickly entered. Elder Meng was quietly wiping down a table, and the subordinate looked at him, calling out in a low voice, "My lord." Elder Meng looked up and asked, "You have news?" His subordinate bowed respectfully and replied, "Kang Min appeared at the alchemy competition. He's being held in the inner sanctum of the pill pavilion." His voice continued, recounting the events. After listening, Elder Meng slammed his hand on the table, shattering the porcelain vase on it. He gritted his teeth and demanded, 8 top-grade martial pills, and he's a 9th-grade martial ancestor?" The subordinate immediately clasped his hands and urged, "My lord, with talent like his, if we let him join forces with Her Highness, the Saintess, he could definitely lead our assassin's tavern." Hearing this, he raised a hand to object. "Absolutely not." Elder Meng frowned and stared straight ahead, stating, "Her Highness, the Saintess, is cultivating the sacred art. She cannot be swayed by emotions. This boy must die." Elder Meng's subordinate immediately clasped his hands and asked, "If you've made your decision, Elder Meng, when will we make our move?" Hearing this, he stroked his chin and said, "Although the Assassin's Tavern doesn't fear the Pill Pavilion, our influence in the royal capital is still weak. It will be difficult to kill him inside the Pill Pavilion." Hearing this, the subordinate raised a fist and asked, "Then what should we do?" Elder Meng walked out briskly with his hands behind his back, instructing, "You keep an eye on the Pill Pavilion. The moment that kid comes out, report to me immediately." At the same time, at the Ma clan's branch in the royal capital, Mo Chi was fiddling with a jade pendant. He looked at it and said with a smile, "That brat Kang Min may have escaped, but he'll never suspect that I've placed a tracking mark on him. As long as he's within 100 miles of me, I will detect him." Kang Min followed Elder Wu through the Pill Pavilion. She stopped in front of a room and said, "This is it." Elder Wu turned her head and instructed, "You'll stay here for now. We will make other arrangements later." Kang Min immediately clasped his hands and replied respectfully, "Thank you, senior." She turned to leave, saying, "No need for formalities, get some rest." Hearing this, he smiled faintly, thinking to himself, this old lady is probably going to report to the higher-ups of the Pill Pavilion. Just then, a sound from behind made him turn around. Namgung Min walked over with a fan, shouting, "Well, well, look who it is. I can't believe we're meeting again." Kang Min picked his nose and asked, "Do I know you?" Hearing that, the guy burst out laughing and introduced himself. "I'm Namgung Min, Namgung Ling's cousin." Kang Min raised an eyebrow, asking suspiciously, "Is there a problem?" Namgung Min looked up at him and announced, "I've got some good news for you." He pointed his fan at Kang Min and declared, "You are qualified to join the Northern Alliance and become a minion under this prince." Kang Min immediately turned to leave, cursing loudly, "Crazy bastard!" Namgung Min immediately waved his hand and yelled, "What the hell is that attitude?" Kang Min pushed the door open, saying, "Being your personal attack dog? I'm not interested." Namgung Min's face darkened as he shouted, "Hey, you little punk, do you have any idea?" He pointed at Kang Min, asking, "The price you'll have to pay for that insolence?" Kang Min immediately slammed the door shut, leaving behind a single word, "Fuck off!" Namgung Min roared with a face full of rage, "Don't think this is over. This prince has got you marked." A servant nearby bowed his head and tried to calm him. "Your Highness, please don't be angry." He then turned and quickly left. "Let's go." Namgung Ling, who was hiding behind a pillar, thought to herself, "Cousin really holds Kang Min in high regard." Suddenly, the jade pendant on her waist began to glow, making her look down in confusion. The jade pendant. Namgung Ling held it up, wondering, does this mean Master wants to see Kang Min? Shortly after, she brought Kang Min to the Pill Pavilion. He looked at the scene inside and gasped in awe. Namgung Ling pointed in one direction and introduced, "Ahead is my master's herb garden. He's inside." Kang Min looked over and exclaimed, "The Pill Pavilion is no joke. They even have an herb garden on the damn roof." She closed her eyes, smiled softly, and said, "Let's go." Suddenly, he grabbed Namgung Ling's hand, stopping her. "Wait a sec." Seeing her cry out in confusion, Kang Min spoke up. "Ah, I need you to do something for me, Ling." She blushed, asking hesitantly, "Wah, what is it?" Inwardly, she thought shyly, "He's holding my hand." He looked down at her intently and explained, "I was hoping you could help me find someone. Her name is Ma Qingzhu, from the Kang clan." Hearing this, Namgung Ling was startled. "Ma Qingzhu?" She silently wondered. Could it be that Ma Qingzhu is the one he has feelings for? Namgung Ling pushed open the gate, saying, "I understand." Hearing her voice from ahead, Kang Min also pushed it open. "Let's head in." He looked at the various medicinal herbs and let out a gasp. Kang Min's face was filled with excitement as he shouted, "The herb garden is this massive?" His eyes practically turned into hearts as he wondered to himself, "If I traded all this stuff to the system, I wonder how many supreme coins I would get." Namgung Ling looked in one direction and called out, "Let me introduce you." She pointed and explained, "This is my master." Namgung Ling looked towards Gosun and added softly, "The master of the Pill Pavilion." The old man looked at him and asked inquisitively, "So you're Kang Min?" Kang Min froze as he stared at Gosun, silently thinking, "You've got to be kidding me. This old geezer is the master of the Pill Pavilion?" The old man gave a gentle smile and asked, "How long have you been practicing alchemy?" Kang Min held up one finger and said, 1 year, while secretly calculating in his head. "This old man is unfathomable. I need to be careful." Namgung Ling covered her mouth and gasped, asking, "What, only 1 year?" Gosun looked at Kang Min and exclaimed, "To be able to refine a top-quality, pillar-grade pill in just 1 year." Kang Min threw his hands up with a grin and said, "I'd like to be humble, but my strength just doesn't allow it." The old man stared intently at him and exclaimed, "Looking at your cultivation, it really does seem like you've only been practicing for a year. You're not lying." Hearing that, Kang Min laughed heartily and said, "I'm an upstanding gentleman. How could I possibly lie?" Go-sun slammed his hoe into the ground and declared, "I want to ask you something." His entire body radiated a blue light as he asked, "Are you willing to become the next master of the Pill Pavilion?" Namgung Ling was startled by the question. Master of the Pill Pavilion? She wondered to herself. Does Master really value Kang Min that much? Kang Min glanced over, suspicious. This old geezer isn't scheming something, is he? Go-sun's face was all smiles as he announced, "If you agree, you can use all the treasures of the Pill Pavilion at your leisure." Kang Min's eyes lit up as he shouted, "All the treasures?" He thought to himself, "Could it be this old geezer thinks I'm handsome? No way, he's a dude." The old man stroked his beard, smiled, and added, "Everything I've cultivated will be passed down to you." Kang Min broke out in a cold sweat. He lowered his head and thought, "Hold on, this is definitely a test. If I accept immediately, he'll look down on me." Seeing Kang Min hesitate, Go-sun spoke up again. "What is it?" The young man, Kang Min, covered his mouth and let out a cough. He immediately clasped his hands and explained, "My lifelong goal is to reach the peak of martial arts. Alchemy is just a side hobby. Therefore, I'm sorry, but I cannot accept." Hearing this, the old man froze on the spot. Afterwards, Go-sun shouldered his hoe and replied, "I understand. Very well, you may go back now." This old man must continue his work. Kang Min practically did a spit take, crying internally. According to how these comic book plots usually go, shouldn't you be admiring my righteous spirit and then gift me a pile of treasures? He immediately turned to leave, pondering, this old geezer doesn't follow the script at all. I bet this manhwa will never get popular. Just then, Go-sun turned his head and called out to stop him. Wait. Kang Min's eyes lit up as he wondered, there's still a chance. What kind of treasure will it be? A top-tier, wilderness-grade pill? Or a trove of treasures? Immediately after, a jade pendant was tossed out. An ancient voice echoed, "If you don't want to be my successor, I won't force you." The old man looked at him and instructed, "Take this with you. You might need it later." Kang Min looked at the jade pendant in his hand, thinking to himself, "Is this all I get?" Namgung Lin saw the pendant in his hand and explained, "That's a protective jade talisman. It can withstand a full-powered strike from a 9-star martial venerable." Hearing that, Kang Min freaked out and yelled, "What? A full-powered strike from a goddamn 9-star martial venerable?" He glanced around nervously, shoved it into his shirt and said, "A treasure this badass can't be seen by anyone." Kang Min reached for the door, pulled it open, and said, "Let's get going." Namgung Lin called out softly from behind him, "Kang Min." He turned back and asked, "You want to know why I turned down the position of Pill Pavilion Master, don't you?" Her eyes went wide as she stared at him, and the corner of his mouth curled into a smirk as he answered, "I'll tell you why. It's because this world is fucking huge, and I want to go see it." After saying that, Kang Min grinned, clasped his hands behind his back, and walked away. With tears streaming down his face, he thought to himself, well, I started this bullshit, so I better see it through. Hearing his words, Namgung Lin whispered, I knew I wasn't wrong about him. Early the next morning, Kang Min was sound asleep in his bed. Just then, a loud knock on the door jolted him awake. Kang Min sat up in bed and called out towards the door. "Who is it?" A voice from outside replied, "It's me, Namgung Lin." Kang Min straightened his clothes, went to open the door, and said, "I'm coming." He was shocked to see Chung Seon outside. Namgung Lin lowered her head and whispered, "I brought the person you asked me to find." Kang Min grabbed her wrist and exclaimed, "Chung Seon." Seeing Kang Min take Chung Seon's hand, Namgung Lin turned to leave. "You two can talk. I'll be leaving now," she thought to herself. So their relationship really isn't normal. Chung Seon kept her head down and whispered, "Kang Min." She thought to herself with a sigh, "I can't believe the boy from all those years ago has grown up so much." Kang Min rushed over and yelled, "Wifey, we're finally together again." Her face turned bright red as she said, "Don't call me that. If you keep calling me random shit, I'll cut your tongue out." Hearing that, he just smiled and asked, "Cut my tongue out, huh?" Kang Min swiftly scooped Chung Seon up into his arms, saying, "Now that's what I call trying to murder your husband. Looks like I'll have to teach you a lesson." Hearing the door shut, she began to struggle frantically. "What do you think you're doing? Put me down." He looked down at Cheong Seon and said calmly, "We're husband and wife, so naturally, we should be doing what husbands and wives do." She struggled with all her might and screamed, "Let me go." Cheong Seon hugged her knees and sobbed, thinking, back at the Kang clan, I was harassed by Kang Wanjong, and now this happens at the Pill Pavilion. Is this really my fate? Seeing her crying, Kang Min panicked and quickly explained, "Wifey, what's wrong? I was just joking. Please don't cry. If you're still mad, just hit me, okay?" Cheong Seon wiped away her tears and cried out, "Kang Min." He looked down, confused, before she suddenly threw herself into his arms, shouting, "This is all your fault, all your fault." Chung Seon hugged Kang Min tightly and wouldn't stop crying. He looked down at her, wondering to himself, what the hell did she go through? Afterwards, Chung Seon, with red, swollen eyes, was fast asleep on the bed. Kang Min sat by the bed staring at her and sighed to himself. And just like that, she's asleep. I'm seriously impressed. He clasped his hands behind his back and left quickly, thinking, looks like I'll have to ask Lin what's going on. Inside the room, Kang Min picked up a teacup, took a sip, and asked, what happened to her at the Kang clan? Namgung Lin averted her gaze and replied, I don't know either. When I went to get her, Kang Wanjong tried everything to stop me. Kang Min forcefully crushed the teacup in his hand, slammed his fist on the table, and roared, Kang Wanjong. He shot up and stormed out, saying, that bastard has a death wish, daring to lay a hand on my woman. And here I was planning to let him live a few more days. Namgung Lin called out worriedly from behind, Hey, what are you planning to do? Without even turning back, Kang Min answered, I'm going to kill someone. He stomped hard on the ground and shot into the sky, declaring, Today, I'm taking a life, and I'll kill anyone who dares to get in my way. I swear it. Just then, Ma Chi, with his arms crossed, called out, Brat, You finally decided to show your face. I've been waiting a long time for you. Kang Min turned to look at the guy, letting out a confused grunt. He stared at Machi, crying on the inside. Isn't that the Martial Venerable who fucked me up last time? God damn it, I really need to stop pissing people off everywhere I go. The guy raised his hand, gathering purple spiritual energy as he roared. You killed number 31 and Ma Yuk. Today, I'm here to avenge them. Machi threw a giant palm strike towards him, roaring, Die. A green light flashed in Kang Min's eyes as he yelled, Holy shit! He immediately turned tail and ran, shouting, Time to bounce! While fleeing, Kang Min glanced back, thinking, That bastard. Good thing I've got the cloud-stepping immortal technique. Right then, Ma Chi raised his hand and yelled, Think you can run? With a flash of purple light, he cast a spatial lock, trapping the area. Kang Min slammed face first into a transparent barrier, crying out in pain. He dropped to his knees, yelling, That hurts. Ma Chi hovered in the air above him and said, Brat, did you really think you could escape from me a second time? Kang Min turned his head and clicked his tongue. Then he immediately raised his hand, gathering his energy and shouting, 10 Meridian's divine sword. The man raised his fist and scoffed. Child's play. Kang Min took one step forward without a word. He furrowed his brow, silently calculating that this wasn't just any martial venerable, but at least a 7-star one. Ma Chi looked down from above and declared, You're not getting away today. Hearing this, Kang Min scoffed in response. You think you're enough to kill me? Ma Chi stood tall and let out a loud laugh. I've never once doubted myself. The bastard raised his hand, creating a massive illusory hand that struck towards Kang Min, roaring grand annihilation palm. Kang Min looked at the jade pendant in his hand, saying, A martial venerable expert. I guess I have no choice but to use this pendant. Kang Min watched as light shot out from it, crying internally that he just got his hands on it and already had to use the damn thing. He watched in amazement as the light from the jade pendant flared up, blocking the palm strike. The two streams of energy clashed violently against each other. Machi stared at Kang Min in shock, letting out a gasp. Gushun appeared in front of him and said, You've crossed the line. Kang Min exclaimed in surprise. Master! He wondered in amazement. Did this old geezer just shatter that attack? Is he really that damn strong? The bastard looked down from above and yelled, Gushun, this has nothing to do with you. If you keep interfering, don't blame me for forgetting that you once saved my life. The old man coughed and asked, Brother Ma, if you still remember that time, then do me a favor and spare his life, all right? Machi frowned and loudly refused. The two ancestors specifically warned me about this guy, and they ordered me to capture him no matter what, so I'm afraid I can't do that. Gushun watched the bastard's figure suddenly vanish and said, He is a special elder of the Elixir Pavilion. Immediately after, the bastard appeared behind Kang Min, yelling, I don't give a damn about any elder. I'm catching him today. Kang Min turned his head and stammered, How did you get over here? Gushun stroked his beard, a golden light emanating from his body as he said, It's useless. You're not taking him anywhere today. Kang Min frantically urged, Old man, stop dicking around and save me. The old man coughed and then roared, making Machi frown as he yelled, This old man is here! A giant phantom emerged from Gushun, declaring, No one is taking him away today. Then the old man took out a simple cloth and struck Machi hard in the chest. The bastard immediately spat out a mouthful of fresh blood and was sent flying to the ground. Seeing this, Kang Min shouted, Holy shit, that was badass. His eyes lit up as he stared at Gushun, wondering, A single piece of cloth can repel a 7-star martial venerable? Could that cloth be a supreme treasure? Machi coughed, sat up, and asked, A martial emperor, you've already reached this realm? Gushun smiled kindly and said, For old time's sake, I won't make things difficult for you, so you should leave. Machi immediately jumped up, yelling, Gushun, this is the guy our ancestors want captured. He gritted his teeth, beat his chest, and shouted, You should be well aware of my Ma clan's standing. I'm warning you. Gushun pulled out a hoe and asked, Still not leaving? You want a taste of my hoe? Hearing this, Ma Chi stammered, Don't do it. He turned and quickly fled, leaving just like that. Kang Min stared intently at the hoe, thinking, A single hoe can make a 7-star martial venerable run for his life. It's definitely a supreme treasure, maybe even more badass than that cloth. Gushun placed a hand on Kang Min's shoulder, smiling as he said, Let's go. Their figures vanished, leaving only a small spatial tear behind. A cloaked figure appeared on a rooftop saying, Gushun, you're anything but simple. Meanwhile, Gushun brought Kang Min back to the Elixir Pavilion. The old man held him by the collar, exclaiming, All right, we're here. Gushun walked ahead quickly, saying, You go get some rest. Kang Min looked at the old man, thinking to himself, Wait a minute, this old geezer has so many treasures. He stared at Gushun, pondering, If I beg him to take me as his disciple, all those treasures will be mine. Kang Min burst into tears and lunged towards the old man, shouting, "Master, I was wrong. Please take me as your disciple." The next second, his face slammed hard onto the marble floor. Gu Shun had instantly flash-stepped away, saying, "You can't force destiny." Kang Min clutched his nose, crying out, "Ouch, that hurts. The old bastard didn't even give me a chance." Just then, a maid ran over, shouting, "Young Master Kang Min." He turned to look at her and asked, "What's wrong?" The maid pointed towards the door and yelled, "Miss Mu! Miss Mu is about to be taken away by the disciples of the Heavenly River Sword Sect." A red aura exploded from Kang Min as he roared in fury. "Those bastards! I haven't even come after them yet, and they're already courting death." He stomped his foot hard on the floor, causing white smoke to billow from his feet. Then, with a yell, Kang Min shot off into the distance. He gritted his teeth, roaring, "Then I'll grant you your death wish." The crowd saw the flash of light and started murmuring, "Such intense killing intent. What's happening? Who pissed off that murderous bastard? Who knows? Let's follow them and see. Someone's about to have a really bad day." Meanwhile, Gong Ling held out her arms to block the way, asking, "Qing Xuan, are you really just going to leave like this?" The core disciple of the Heavenly River Sword Sect, Lu Ji, crossed her arms and said, "Miss Gong, with your meager skills, I'm afraid you won't be able to stop me." The surrounding crowd saw this and began to wonder, what's happening? Who is that person Gong Ling is blocking? That's Lu Ji, the core disciple of the Heavenly River Sword Sect, whose cultivation has reached the peak of a 2-star martial ancestor. The Heavenly River Sword Sect wants to take someone. Who could possibly stop them? Gong Ling walked over, placed a hand on Qing Xuan's shoulder, and asked, "If you really want to leave, I won't hold you back. But aren't you even going to say goodbye to him?" She lowered her head, letting out a small gasp. "Ah." She clenched her fist tightly, thinking, "To avoid dragging Kang Min into this, I have no other choice." Lu Ji forcefully knocked Gong Ling's hand away and grabbed Qing Xuan's hand to leave. "Miss Gong Ling, don't waste your breath. None of these brats from the Elixir Pavilion are a match for me. Let's go." Suddenly, Kang Min's figure rushed over, raising his fist and yelling, "You got a death wish or something? You dare lay a hand on my woman!" The man looked at the incoming fist and asked, "Who the hell are you?" Kang Min's punch sent Lu Ge flying backward, smashing hard into the wall. Lu Jie gritted his teeth, crashing with a loud thud. Seeing this, Kang Min let out a cold snort. A smile bloomed on Gong Ling's face as she cried out, "Kang Min!" Chung Sun also covered her mouth, exclaiming his name. "Kang Min!" Lu Ge climbed out of the huge crater in the wall, coughing as he said, "You dare sucker punch me?" He drew his sword with a flourish, declaring, "I don't give a damn who you are. You're a dead man." Kang Min's expression darkened as he asked, "Are you saying you want to kill me?" Hearing this, Lu Ge just laughed. "You got it. Piss off the Sky River Sword Sect, and not even the Elixir Pavilion can save your ass." The crowd immediately started murmuring, "Is he really from the Sky River Sword Sect? I heard they're even more terrifying than the Blazing Flame Nation itself. Kang Min is totally screwed this time." Hearing this, Chung Son thought to herself that she couldn't drag Kang Min into this. She quickly pleaded, "Senior brother Lu Ge, I'll go with you. Just please, let him go." Lu Ge let out a cold laugh and asked, "Let him go?" A fiery aura flared up around him. "Anyone who pisses me off doesn't get to walk away alive. Prepare to die, you bastard." The crowd gasped as they saw the light erupt from his body. That aura. It's stronger than a typical 4-star martial ancestor. So powerful. Is this the genius of the Sky River Sword Sect? Holy shit, that kid is done for. Lu Ge let out a booming laugh, raising his sword and roaring, "Even I'm scared of myself when I go all out. So what chance do you have?" Kang Min, however, remained perfectly calm and stated, "I only need one palm strike to take care of you." Lu Ge pointed his sword straight at Kang Min and screamed, "Die!" A slight smirk played on Kang Min's lips. "One palm strike. Yeah, that's all I'll need." The crowd watched in disbelief, shouting, "That kid's not even budging. Is he not going to fight back? What could he even do? He's a goner. I bet he's scared shitless." Cheong Son urged him on, her face pale with worry. "Get out of there, quick." Kang Min stood his ground, watching the golden wave of sword chi rush toward him. He casually raised a hand, gathering a tiny wisp of spiritual energy. Then, Kang Min flicked his wrist and said, "Go." Seeing the pathetically small wisp of energy, the crowd started to jeer. "Is that supposed to be a counterattack? It's like throwing an egg against a boulder. You've got to admire the kid's guts, I guess." The faint blue light shot straight toward Lu Ge's overwhelming wave of sword chi. Lu Ge's face was plastered with a grin as he shouted, "Are you fucking kidding me? If you wanted to die that badly, you could have just asked." In the next instant, the blue wisp of light completely shattered Lu Ge's sword chi. He stared as the energy blast flew toward him, screaming in disbelief. How was that possible? The energy slammed into Lug, sending him flying a huge distance backward. The crowd went wild. He defeated a core disciple of the Sky River Sword Sect in a single blow. How could that tiny sliver of energy have so much power? The uproar was deafening. This kid is a monster. Chung Seon blushed. Covering her mouth with her hand in astonishment, Luge lay on the ground, coughing up blood as he screamed, "You dare to hurt me!" He clutched his chest, bellowing, "I'll never forgive you! I'll kill you! I'll slaughter your entire family and all your friends!" Hearing that, Kang Min instantly leaped forward and stomped down on Luge. He ground the man's head into the dirt with his foot and said, "Good thing you said you wanted to kill me. Otherwise, this would have been a lot more complicated." Luge screamed endlessly under Kang Min's boot. Arg! Seeing this, Gongling tried to intervene. "Kang Min, that's enough. Let him go." Kang Min frowned, thinking to himself, "If I kill him, I'll bring trouble to the Elixir Pavilion. And they've treated me pretty well so far." He viciously kicked Luge in the ribs, shouting, "I'm letting you off this time for Linger's sake." Luge coughed up a mouthful of blood. Kang Min watched him fly off and barked, "Now get the hell out of here." He clasped his hands behind his back, walked toward Chung Seon, and let out a cold snort. Then he gave her a thumbs up and said, "Good thing you're not hurt. Otherwise, I would have never let that bastard go." She blushed, murmuring softly, "Kang Min, thank you." A wide grin spread across Kang Min's face as he replied, "We're practically family. What's there to thank me for?" Hearing this, Chung Seon got flustered and yelled, "You're talking nonsense again." He just smiled back. "I'm not talking nonsense." Gong Ling looked down, thinking to herself, he really does treat Chung Seon differently than everyone else. The crowd started chattering again. Just who the hell is this guy? He actually dared to beat up someone from the Sky River Sword Sect. The balls on this guy are massive. Isn't he afraid the Sky River Sword Sect will retaliate? Kang Min turned his head and asked, "Is the Sky River Sword Sect a big deal or something?" She was shocked. "You don't know? They say their sect master has already reached the peak of the Martial Emperor realm and could break through to the Martial Saint realm any day now." Hearing this, his eyes went wide and his jaw dropped. "A Martial Saint? Does that mean I'm in deep shit?" Gongling facepalmed and sighed. "You're just figuring that out now?" The crowd was smirking as they chimed in. "Ignorance truly is bliss. Looks like the little bastard is finally scared." Kang Min held up his fingers and started counting. "What am I gonna do? I've already pissed off the Kang clan, the Assassin's Guild, the mysterious Ma clan, and now I've added the Sky River Sword Sect to the list." The crowd collectively jumped. Just how many powerful groups has this guy pissed off? And they're all major players. The fact that he's still breathing is a goddamn miracle. Kang Min put his hands on his head and groaned. "It's true that you can't have too many skills, but I should still prepare a little." Gong Ning and Qing Xuan saw this and thought to themselves, "What a moron." He scratched his head and yelled, "That's right. I just gotta kiss the pavilion master's ass. That old bastard is a demonic martial emperor." Kang Min quickly ran off, telling Ling Zi, "You help me look after the Qing clan. I'm going to find the pavilion master." In the Pill Pavilion's meeting hall, Hai Di Shi Qiao and the 5 great elders were gathered when one of them shot to his feet, yelling, "Pavilion master, I, Tang Yuan, refuse to let that little punk Kang Min become the 7th special appointed elder." Gu Shun immediately raised his hand to ask, "And the rest of you? What do you think?" Lu Sheng also shot up, shouting, "I don't agree either. No matter how extraordinary that kid's potential is, he's still just a pillar-grade alchemist, nowhere near emperor grade." Wei Bin, sitting calmly in his chair, spoke up, "That punk has pissed off the Ma clan. We need to think about this very carefully." He glanced at the others, thinking to himself, asterisk, asterisk, almost everyone is against it. The Chu clan paid me a shitload of money to get Kang Min kicked out of the Pill Pavilion. I have to make it happen now. Asterisk, asterisk. Gu Shun raised one hand and replied with a smile, "This pavilion master won't force the issue, but you should all meet him first." He reached his hand into the void, grabbed Kang Min by the collar, and yanked him out. The kid was pulled through, looking around in shock and letting out a yelp. Kang Min stood there in shock, staring at the people sitting there, and asked hesitantly, "What's going on?" He glanced at Gu Shun, thinking, asterisk, asterisk. The moment I said I wanted to find the pavilion master, the old bastard summoned me right here. Asterisk, asterisk. Tang Yuan spoke up from behind him. "So you're Kang Min? You don't look like much." Confused, he asked. "Huh?" Lu Sheng chimed in as well. "Yeah, he looks pretty damn average to me." 2 other elders chimed in, "I can't see anything special about him at all. Refining a pillar-grade pill is probably his absolute limit." Kang Min's face darkened as he thought to himself, asterisk, asterisk, these old bastards really run their mouths. Asterisk, asterisk. Tang Yuan immediately cupped his fists and said, "Pavilion master, you've seen him. This old man still has pills to refine and doesn't want to waste any more time." He clasped his hands behind his back and said, "I'll be taking my leave. If you have to blame someone, blame yourself for pissing off the Chu clan." Kang Min frowned at Tang Yuan, wondering, asterisk, asterisk, I've never done a damn thing to him, so why is he constantly trying to screw me over? Asterisk, asterisk. Suddenly, he was baffled to see the old man cry out and freeze. Then Tang Yuan clutched his chest and coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood. He trembled all over, thinking, asterisk, asterisk, what the hell is going on? Asterisk, asterisk. Seeing Tang Yuan collapse, the 5 great elders immediately shot to their feet, yelling, Elder Tang, what's wrong? Kang Min scratched his head, asking, what's going on? He frowned, silently asking himself, asterisk, asterisk, could I be so damn badass that I can kill people with just a glare? Asterisk, asterisk. Immediately after, Gushun checked Tang Yuan's pulse and asked in shock, miasma poison. Wei Bin asked worriedly, Pavilion Master, what in the world is wrong with Elder Tang? The Pavilion Master turned to the others and asked, 6 months ago, did you all enter the miasma of delusion? They glanced at each other, murmuring, well, Kang Min overheard this and frowned, asking, the miasma of delusion, what kind of place is that? Gu Shun let out a cold snort. He then frowned and yelled, you all have some serious balls, completely ignoring this Pavilion Master's warnings and daring to charge into the miasma of delusion. Wei Bin quickly raised his hand and yelled, Pavilion Master, for an alchemist, the miasma of delusion is just too damn tempting, but we prepared anti-poison pills before we went, so how could this happen? Hearing that, the Pavilion Master turned to look at Tang Yuan and said, a standard antidote can't neutralize the miasma poison. In fact, it just makes the poison spread faster. When the elders heard this, they screamed in shock. What the hell? Gushun frowned and declared, in his current state, if he doesn't get an Emperor-grade pill or a Supreme-grade Marshal-grade pill to keep him alive within the next 6 hours, you might as well start planning his funeral. Tang Yuan, his face a sickly green, grabbed the Pavilion Master's sleeve and begged, Pavilion Master, please save me. Gushun let out a sigh, saying, if this had happened a month or 2 ago, I could have refined a high-grade Emperor pill to cure you, he sighed, rolling up his sleeve to reveal his arm. At the sight, all the elders present were utterly shocked. They gasped, this is... Gushun pulled his sleeve down, hiding his arm, and said, I suffered a backlash during alchemy. I can no longer refine Emperor-grade pills. Wei Bin frowned and asked, then what about a Supreme-grade Marshal antidote pill? The old man sighed and shook his head. Supreme-grade pills require a stroke of pure luck, and with my backlash, my hands are tied. When Kang Min heard this, he stroked his chin thoughtfully. You can get a backlash from refining pills? How come I've never heard of that? Wei Bin's face scrunched up as he yelled in agitation. If even the Pavilion Master can't do it, then I'm afraid no one in the entire Blazing Flame Nation can save him. Tang Yuan, now covered in purple and green blotches, trembled violently and cried out, is this the will of the heavens? Is my time truly up? Kang Min scratched his head and spoke up. A Supreme-grade Marshal pill to cure the miasma poison? He said with a slight smile. I can make that, Wei Bin asked, jolted. You can make it? Tang Yuan also cried out in shock. What? Hearing this, Gushun also asked, Kang Min, this is no joke. Can you really do it? Kang Min raised a fist and declared, I can't make a high-grade Emperor pill, but I'm pretty damn sure about a Supreme-grade Marshal pill. Gu Shun frowned and asked, what are your chances? Kang Min stroked his chin and said, around 40 to 50%. Asterisk, asterisk. Inwardly, he was laughing his ass off. If I told them I was 100% certain, wouldn't they just drop dead from shock? Asterisk, asterisk. Asterisk, asterisk. Better to be a little humble. Asterisk, asterisk. Hearing this, the Pavilion Master replied, 40 to 50% is more than enough. While a Supreme-grade Marshal pill isn't as high-ranked as an Emperor-grade one, its medicinal properties are gentler, is the most suitable for dispelling the poisonous miasma. Wei Bin gently shook his head and said, I finally understand why the Pavilion Master made this young man the 7th Special Elder. He's truly farsighted. We didn't understand and even tried to stop it. How fucking foolish of us. Suddenly, Kang Min looked at the group and shouted, wait a minute. The Pavilion Master wanted me to be a special elder, and you guys tried to stop it? Wei Bin and the others broke out in a cold sweat and laughed nervously. Well, Kang Min, you see, it was all just a misunderstanding. He immediately sat down on a chair, crossed his arms, and looked ready for the shit show to begin. Kang Min crossed his arms and legs, shouting, I'm not doing a damn thing. Dang Wan turned his head to look at him and said, Kang Min, as long as you can concoct the pill to save my life, I'll give you 3 high-grade Imperial-level treasures. Hearing this, he frowned and let out a cold laugh. I even turned down the position of successor to the Pill Pavilion Master. What the hell are your few Imperial-level treasures to me? Hearing this, Wei Bin and the others shouted, what? The group started clamoring. The Pavilion Master intended for him to be the successor, and he didn't even give a damn? And just a moment ago, we were trying to stop him from becoming a special elder. Goshun looked at him and asked, Kang Min, what will it take for you to save him? Dang Wan looked up and chimed in. That's right. Just name your price. I'll do my absolute best. Kang Min crossed his arms and asked, let me ask you, why did you try to stop me from becoming the 7th Special Elder, huh? He closed his eyes and shouted, it was the Chu clan. The Chu clan bribed me and told me to kick you out of the Pill Pavilion. Go-shun immediately shot up and roared, Dang-won, you've got some goddamn nerve. I want to know if you're an elder of the Pill Pavilion or the Chu clan's dog. Dang-won glanced at him and admitted his mistake. Pavilion Master, I was in the wrong. If I'm saved, I'm willing to accept any punishment. Go-shun frowned, snorted coldly, and said, worry about surviving first, then we'll talk. Kang Min stood up with a sneer, crossed his arms, walked up to the man and asked, you want me to save you? Dang-won grimaced and replied, yes, yes, yes. Kang Min smirked and said, all right then, get on your knees and beg me. Hearing this, the man's eyes shot wide open in shock. Kang Min, I'm still an elder of the Pill Pavilion. For fuck's sake. Kang Min turned to leave, saying, you won't do it? Then just lie there and wait to die. Dang-won, his face contorted in pain, shouted to stop him. Wait. Kang Min glanced back over his shoulder and said coldly, if you have something to say, spit it out. Right after that, the man immediately dropped to his knees. Dang-won shouted at him, ah, I'm begging you, please save me. Kang Min picked his ear and said, what was that? I didn't hear you clearly. The man bowed his head in shame and yelled, this old man begs you, for the Pavilion Master's sake this time, please save my life. Kang Min looked back and thought to himself, this old bastard really knows when to bend. He'll throw away all his pride to save his own ass. Anyway, I was planning on riding the Pavilion Master's coattails to save this Dang-won guy. Then he agreed out loud. All right, I'll save your life. Dang-won clutched his chest and cried out, little friend, there's not much time left. Please hurry and concoct the pill. Kang Min held up 2 fingers, rubbing them together and said, there are still over 4 hours left. No rush. Besides, I'm missing a few things. Hearing this, the man was startled and wondered, is he trying to torment me? Next, Dang-won tossed something to him and said, inside this storage ring are many imperial-level medicinal ingredients. Whatever is left after you concoct the pill, you can keep. Kang Min looked inside and exclaimed excitedly, holy shit, so many ingredients and treasures. As expected of an elder from the Pill Pavilion to have collected so much, I've hit the jackpot this time. With a huge smile on his face, he put the ring on and said, yeah, this is great. Since you're being so sincere, just leave this pill to me. Kang Min cupped his hands towards Go-shun and said, Elder Go, this junior needs a clean place to refine the miasma-dispelling pill. The old man pointed in one direction and said with a smile, there's an alchemy room in the back. You can use that. I'll stand guard for you. He clasped his hands behind his back, turned to leave and said, many thanks. I'll be back in a bit. 2 hours later, the people inside were waiting anxiously. Bin couldn't help but ask, is this Kang Min guy actually going to be able to concoct the pill or not? Yuksang next to him replied, this kid talks a big game. I'm sure he can pull it off. Dang-won covered his mouth and spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, saying, he took my stuff. If he can't make the pill, I'll slap him to death. Elder O turned to look at him and retorted, failing is perfectly normal. What alchemist can guarantee a 100% success rate? Just then, streams of golden light began to pour out from inside the room. Go-shun's eyes widened immediately, and he turned to look and shouted, he's succeeded! The door was pushed open from the inside, and the fragrance of the pill quickly wafted out. Kang Min walked out holding a box and said, glad that's over with. Seeing this, Yuksang exclaimed in shock. He concocted the pill in just 2 hours. Dang-won also shouted excitedly, this kid really has some skills. He quickly held out his hand and yelled, quick! Dang-won took trembling steps toward Kang Min, urging, hurry, give it to me. He immediately put up a hand to stop him and asked, hold on, I was busting my ass in there for ages, and you don't even have a single word of thanks? Seeing this, Go-shun lowered his head and thought to himself, this kid is addicted to shaking people down. Dang-won gritted his teeth, cursing inwardly, damn it. He immediately held up another storage ring and said, you've worked hard. This is a small token of my appreciation, just a little something. All right, I'll let the old bastard off the hook for now. I'll deal with him later. Then he handed the box over to Tang Yuan. The old man immediately opened it, revealing the pill inside. Tang Yuan quickly popped it into his mouth. Then, his entire body began to glow with a red light. Kang Min immediately pinched his nose and yelled, holy shit, that reeks! Tang Yuan looked at his own hands and exclaimed, the miasma poison in my body has been purged. I've finally recovered. Still pinching his nose with one hand, Kang Min waved his other hand dismissively and yelled, if you're done, then get the hell out of here. You stink. Tang Yuan immediately turned to Gu-shun and said, Pavilion Master, I retract my earlier statement about Kang Min becoming the 7th Special Elder. I have no objections. He then looked towards the other elders and asked, does anyone else object to Kang Min becoming the 7th Special Elder? Pan Wei also cupped his hands and said with a smile, Pavilion Master, we were only opposed because we hadn't witnessed Master Kang's true strength. Now, this old man is in complete agreement. The other elders quickly chimed in, cupping their hands. I agree as well. Gu-shun looked ahead and calmly announced, Since that's settled, I hereby declare Kang Min is now the 7th special elder of our Pill Treasure Pavilion. Kang Min clasped his hands behind his back, standing tall and looking straight ahead. The other elders shouted in unison, "The Pavilion Master is wise." With tears streaming down his face, he thought to himself, I've finally latched onto a powerful backer. Pan Wei and the others cupped their hands in unison. Master Kang, could you possibly help the three of us refine a miasma cleansing pill? We've also been through the mist of miasma. Kang Min immediately held up one finger and said, no problem. 1,000 sets of yellow-grade ingredients from each of you. He sneered inwardly. This is what you get for trying to block my path, you old fucks. I'm gonna fleece you dry. Pan Wei was shocked and exclaimed, what? 1,000 sets? The other two elders also began to plead. Master Kang, yellow-grade ingredients aren't just some common herbs. They're incredibly hard to find. That's right, Master Kang. Please, show some mercy. Kang Min glanced back at them and said, hey, I'm not forcing you. You still have time. Maybe you can refine the pill yourselves before the poison flares up. Hearing this, Pan Wei gritted his teeth, held up a storage ring, and yelled, wait, we'll pay. The three of them cupped their hands respectfully and said, we're counting on you for the miasma cleansing pills, Master Kang. We'll take our leave. He waved his hand immediately. Don't you worry. Kang Min looked at the storage rings in his hand and watched them leave. A huge grin spread across his face as he jumped for joy, yelling, I'm rich! Gushun came up from behind, clapped him on the shoulder, and asked, having fun ripping people off? Kang Min immediately threw his hands up and replied, so much fun! The best fun! Then he caught himself. Kang Min gave an awkward smile and asked, is there something you need, Pavilion Master? Gushun looked at him and asked, Kang Min, how have I treated you? With a serious expression, Kang Min thumped his chest and declared, Pavilion Master, you saved my life. I owe you a debt as heavy as a mountain. I say this from the bottom of my heart. Hearing this, the old man said sternly, good, I ask for nothing else, but that in the future, if I ever need your help, I hope you will not refuse. Kang Min frowned slightly, hesitating. Pavilion Master, if it's something beyond my abilities, I'm afraid Gushun immediately waved his hand. He gestured to a massive pile of ingredients and said, here are 5,000 sets of yellow-grade ingredients, a gift for you. Kang Min's eyes lit up, and he clasped his face in his hands, exclaiming, this is all for me? Gushun frowned. That's right. Is there a problem with my request now? Kang Min slapped his chest and yelled, no problem at all. I'd go through hell and high water for you. Then, the old man turned to leave, saying, very good. Drool trickled from the corner of Kang Min's mouth as he dived headfirst into the pile of herbs, yelling, now this is what I call hitting the jackpot. Inside a secret chamber, Kang Min sat cross-legged on the floor, thinking to himself, I was planning on teasing Mu Qing Xuan, but leveling up my strength is the real priority right now. He reached out to touch the system screen, wondering, first, let's check how much God-level proficiency I've got. The system screen immediately popped up, displaying the player's proficiency. Kang Min was stunned. 1 billion? He put his hands on his hips and asked with a grin, it takes 10,000 points to draw one godly skill, so doesn't that mean I can get 1,000 of them? Immediately after, a system notification appeared. The system displayed that the player's proficiency had exceeded 100 million. The godly skill box is upgrading, automatically unlocking the Frenzy Grand Roulette. Hearing this, Kang Min jumped up and yelled, what the hell is this? I just want the godly skill box. Give it back to me. The system screen displayed an explanation. System. The godly skill box can only yield ordinary godly skills. However, with the Frenzy Grand Roulette, a lucky player can obtain an invincible super godly skill that transcends all others. He let out a skeptical grunt. Kang Min stroked his chin and said, an invincible super godly skill. That doesn't sound half bad. Alright, fine. Let's open up this roulette thing. My luck has always been pretty damn good. A series of categories for godly skills appeared. Weapons, cultivation arts, pills, formations, beast taming, and puppetry. Then, the spinning wheel appeared on the screen. He stared intently at the wheel, waiting. Suddenly, Kang Min pointed at the screen and yelled, you son of a bitch! You tricked me! A notification popped up. Player has consented to unlocking the Frenzy Grand Roulette. He collapsed to the floor, wailing, I'm such an idiot. I got tricked by this damn system again. Just then, another system screen appeared. Player's luck has exploded. An invincible super godly skill has been obtained in a single spin. Kang Min shot back up to his feet and declared confidently, well, of course, my luck has always been top tier. Maybe I should spin it one more time. What if I hit the jackpot again? He pressed the button on the screen, saying, open. Immediately, a notification popped up. Player Kang Min has consumed 1 million divine skill proficiency points to open the crazy roulette. He frowned, raised his fist and yelled, divine skill, divine weapon, divine pill, anything is fine. Just fucking hit something for me. Then the wheel stopped right on the text. Thanks for playing. Try again. Kang Min practically spat blood and yelled, I knew this shit would happen. The screen displayed a prompt. Please maintain your confidence, player. Do not give up easily. He pounded his chest forcefully and shouted, I refuse to believe that with 1 billion proficiency points, I can't even pull a single damn divine skill. Kang Min raised his hand and pressed the screen, saying, Again. The screen once again showed, Please try again. Kang Min gritted his teeth and said, Again. Immediately after, those words appeared again. Please try again, he angrily yelled. Again! 5 minutes later, Kang Min was frozen, staring at those same words. Please try again. He dropped to his knees, shouting, Not a single goddamn hit. Kang Min's eyes reddened as he stared agitatedly at the notification. Remaining divine skill proficiency, 500 million. He stood up, slammed his fist on the screen, and roared, I'm fucking done with this game. Kang Min crossed his arms, walking away in a rage and muttering, Fuck it, I don't need this shit anyway. He was startled when the system spoke up, detecting players' abysmal luck. The system has automatically unlocked the all-out strike feature. The winning odds will be increased by 50%. His face lit up with glee, and he turned back to ask, The winning odds will increase? Kang Min touched the screen and said, Let's go all in. I refuse to believe my luck is this damn bad. Immediately after, the system's voice rang out. Player Kang Min has consumed 500 million divine skill proficiency points to activate the all-out strike. The system's wheels spun non-stop. Kang Min stared at it and screamed, It has to hit, otherwise I'm going bankrupt. He saw the wheel begin to slow down and shouted, Don't stop. Right after, a system notification appeared on the screen. Congratulations, player Kang Min. You have obtained the Super God tier skill, Berserk. With tears streaming down his face, Kang Min threw his hands in the air and yelled, I finally fucking hit the jackpot. A description window appeared. Skill, Berserk. Grade, Super God tier fragment. Level, 1. Consumption, 1 million divine skill proficiency points. Description 1. Berserk level 1. Each use consumes 1 million divine skill proficiency points. After activating Berserk, strength, speed, attack power, and defense power are all doubled. Description 2. Berserk is divided into 100 levels. Description 3. The fragment can only be upgraded to level 10. Seeing this, he put his hands on his hips and yelled, I've hit the goddamn jackpot. If I cultivate Berserk to level 10, with my 8-star martial ancestor cultivation, even challenging an 8-star martial lord will be a piece of cake. Then, Kang Min waved his hand to gather his spiritual energy and said, Next up. He clenched his fist tightly and declared, I need to raise my alchemy rank to the emperor level. Inside the Kang clan's estate in the royal capital, Hakmak and Nguyen Tong were sitting and drinking tea. Elder Hakmak of the Heavenly River Sword Sect stroked his beard and inquired, Nguyen Tong, what exactly is your scheme in having the Kang clan patriarch change the date of the clan meeting? He lifted his teacup and replied with a smirk, As long as the Kang clan holds its meeting, Kang Min is sure to show up. Hearing this, Hakmak asked doubtfully, Nguyen Tong, how can you be so certain? What if he just hides in the Pill Treasure Pavilion and refuses to come out? Nguyen Tong turned to glance at Hakmak and explained, 18 years ago, Trio Chien, that useless father of Kang Min, was defeated by the venerable Nguyen Hao. With his personality of avenging every single grudge, once the clan meeting starts, he will definitely show up to avenge his father. Hakmak asked quizzically, You want to defeat him in front of everyone? Nguyen Tong crushed the teacup in his hand and denied it. No, I want to kill him. Elsewhere, Kung Lin raised her hand and asked, Is this Kang Nguyen Tong guy that damn arrogant? To break a centuries-old rule of the Kang clan? Holding the clan meeting earlier than scheduled. Than Tuyen heard this and replied, Kang Nguyen Tong is the strongest of the Kang clan's current generation, and he's also a core disciple of the Heavenly River Sword Sect. She lowered her head and explained in a hushed tone, The Kang clan's patriarch wouldn't dare refuse his request. I suspect he plans to make a move against Kang Min. Just then, Kang Min pushed the door open from outside, crossed his arms and declared, That's even better. I've been meaning to meet this Kang Nguyen Tong. Kung Lin and Than Tuyen excitedly shouted, Kang Min, you're out of seclusion. He raised his fist and yelled, I'm ready to go. Let's move out now. She spoke up to stop him. Wait a minute. Kang Min paused and asked quizzically. Kung Lin turned her head towards an empty spot, clasped her hands and said, Elder Durung Tut, we'll be in your care this time. The figure of Durung Tut quickly materialized, standing perfectly still with his hands clasped behind his back. Seeing this, Kang Min yelled in shock. A 4-star martial lord? Kung Lin looked at him and explained, The pavilion master knew you would definitely attend the clan meeting, so he asked Elder Durung Tut to accompany you. He immediately gave a thumbs up, saying, The pavilion master really looks out for me. Kang Min then clasped his hands respectfully and said, Elder Durung Tut, thank you for your trouble. The elder closed his eyes and gave a calm nod of agreement. After that, Kang Min raised his hand and started walking forward, saying, "Let's go." His expression darkened as he thought to himself, Kang Nguyen Tong, today is the day you die. Inside the martial arts training grounds of the Kang clan in the royal capital, people from the Namkung royal family and the Kang clan on the viewing platforms looked down below and said, "The Kang clan of the Golden City, skilled in both literature and martial arts. After the Kang, after the dynasty, they are unparalleled in the world. The Qingyang branch, once separated, must return to the main lineage." Kwok Khan immediately clasped his hands and said with a smile, "I didn't expect the Sir clan to send you. It seems the Sir clan places great importance on this Kang clan meeting." Sir Han also clasped his hands and asked with a smile, "Didn't the royal family send His Highness Prince Khan out personally too?" Someone pointed to the side and yelled, "Quick, look, it's Kang Wanjong with the 7 great elders." The crowd went crazy, shouting, "Young Master Wanjong is so handsome!" Seo Hung and Guk Kyung turned to look, letting out a questioning hum. Kang Wanjong led the other members of the Kang clan over, frowning. He exclaimed, "Kang Wanjong's power level has risen again. He's probably a 3-star martial ancestor now." Not only Kang Wanjong, but the Great Elder has also reached the peak of the 9-star martial ancestor realm, with 1 foot already in the martial venerable stage. Kang Wanjong immediately clasped his hands in greeting. "Your Highness Prince Khan, Elder So Hang, your presence brings the Kang clan great honor." The other man heard this and immediately returned the gesture. "Congratulations on your advancement, young Master Wanjong. It looks like you'll be the star of this clan tournament once again." Hearing that, he turned his head to look in one direction, saying, "It's no fun if I'm the only one in the spotlight. I'm hoping for some real drama." Gu Kyung turned his head to ask, "Is that the Engi Thui branch, Kang Min's family?" Hearing this, Seo Hang let out a slight smirk. He thought, so Kang Wonjong really is targeting Kang Min. Kang Min, you're a dead man. You messed with the Seo clan, so naturally, someone's here to collect your ass. The group of Kang clan disciples arrived, following Young Peng. They looked around at the noisy surroundings. "Big Sis May, look over there. Their clothes are so gorgeous. The royal capital is on another level. It's so crowded, and the martial arts arena is massive." The old man glanced at them and warned, "Can you all act normal for once? What's so damn surprising? Just wait until we make it into the main branch." Kang Guk-sung approached and asked, "You all want to enter the main branch too?" Young Peng frowned, looking at the man. He asked, "The Jiangcheng branch's Kang Guk-sung." He led the 2 Kangdo brothers forward, and one of them, face full of agitation, demanded, "You piece of shit! Who gave you the right to say my grandfather's name?" Kang Mei immediately stepped up and yelled, "You're the piece of shit!" Hearing that, Kang Guk-sung quickly intervened. "Little Do, shut up! Who gave you permission to speak?" Just remember, the next time we run into them, just attack them directly. No need to waste words. Kang Do raised an eyebrow, smirked, and replied, "Got it." He pointed a finger at Kang Mei and laughed loudly. "So you're the one fighting for the Engi Thui Kang clan, huh? We'll definitely face off. When that time comes, I'll be sure to teach you a proper lesson." She gripped the hilt of her sword, ready to draw it, and yelled, "You!" Young Peng quickly put up a hand to stop her. "Pay them no mind. We're leaving." Kang Mei clenched her teeth and whispered, "Yes, sir." The crowd watched as Jung Peng's group walked away, murmuring amongst themselves. The Kang clan of Engi Tui, they've been going downhill for 16 years, ever since Kang Ji-hoon was crippled. They're all talk and no action now. I can't believe they have the gall to show up with how weak they are. The old man just kept walking, ignoring the jeers from behind. Their showing up just proves how shameless they are. Jung Peng smirked slightly, thinking with a cold snort, "Don't celebrate too early. Just wait until our Kang Min arrives. He's going to give every single one of you a massive surprise." Meanwhile, Jung Peng looked down from above and announced, "I hereby declare the clan tournament officially open." His voice echoed as he continued. "First up, Kang Mei from the Engi Thui branch versus Kang Du from the Jiangcheng branch." The members of the Engi Thui Kang clan shot to their feet, yelling, "Oh no! Big Sis May has to fight that bastard from earlier! What rotten luck!" That Kang Du bastard is a 5-star martial general, right? And Big Sis May is only a 1-star. Jung Peng glanced to the side and muttered, "How could it be such a coincidence?" Kang Guk-sung, grinning from ear to ear, yelled, "Of course it's no coincidence. I had one of the elders arrange it." Hearing that, the old man's face twisted in rage as he bellowed, "You rigged the match?" The other man crossed his arms and said calmly, "How can you call it rigging? We just have a strong will to battle. The elders really like that kind of spirit." Kang Guk-sung looked at Kang Du next to him and instructed, "Little Du, go on. Remember to show some mercy. You hear?" A dark aura flared around him as he shot downwards, reassuring his grandfather, "I'll be sure to take real good care of them." Jung Peng looked at Kang Mei and said, "Just do your best. There's no need to push yourself too hard." She nodded in response. "Patriarch, I will not disgrace the Ni Tui Kang clan." The old man watched Kang Mei walk away, letting out a quiet sigh. Jung-pung gazed down at the stage, thinking, I hope that martial-grade sword Kang Min gave her can help Mei last a little longer. Seeing the two fighters on the stage, the crowd erupted in chatter. The Ni Thui branch against the Jiang Chung branch. Those two have been enemies for ages. This is going to be a hell of a show. That's right. 18 years ago, Kang Guk-sung's son, Kang Du, was completely overshadowed by the genius Kang Jun, losing his qualification to enter the main branch. But after Kang Jun, the Ingi Thui branch hasn't produced a single genius. Kang Guk-sung bowed his head, grinding his teeth as he muttered, the humiliation of 18 years ago. Today, I will finally wash it clean. Up on the stage, Kang Mei drew her sword with a flourish. She lifted her head, looking directly at Kang Du. He glanced at her sword, making a questioning sound. Kang Du held up one finger and laughed mockingly. Is that a martial-grade spirit weapon? Looks like I've found my first spoil of war from this tournament. Kang Mei pointed her sword at him and yelled, You want the snow plum? You'll have to get through me first. Hearing that, Kang Du puffed out his chest and said, Relax, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to let you experience the feeling of having 10,000 pairs of eyes on you. She was completely stunned by his words. Enraged, Kang Mei screamed, You sick bastard, die. Then, she unleashed a slash of golden light toward him. Kang Do took out his own weapon, exclaiming, A martial-grade spirit weapon is certainly something, but that's as far as you'll get. The crowd looked at the fan in his hand and murmured, Is that the Black Wind fan? That's Kang Guk-sung's famous treasure. He'd actually give it to a junior? The Azure Sky Branch is in deep shit now. He raised the fan in his hand and said, Losing to my Black Wind fan is no disgrace, so don't you worry. He immediately waved the fan, sending a spectral skull hurtling forward. The incoming sword aura was instantly devoured by the spectral skull. Mai was stunned, unable to believe it. How could this be? Do-hyun pointed the fan at her, shouting, Die! The spectral skull rushed towards Mai. She stared at it and cried out, I'm done for, I can't stop it. I've disgraced the clan head. Jung-hoon immediately stood up and shouted, This is bad, little Mai, hurry and surrender. Guk-sung smirked and yelled, It's too late! For the 18 years of oppression and humiliation that Kang Jun brought upon our Jiangcheng branch, today we'll repay you with interest. Just then, a golden streak of light shot down from above. Kang Min swiftly moved to intercept the spectral skull, shouting, Fuck off! Immediately, a powerful explosion erupted, and dust billowed everywhere. The crowd in the stands gasped. Who was that? So fast! Can someone really block the Black Wind fan's attack with just a shout? Guk-sung looked down and roared, Impossible! Kang Min stood in front of Mai, his hands clasped behind his back. When Jung-hoon saw him, he exclaimed excitedly, Min, it's brother Min. Ling walked up from behind, letting out a sigh of relief. She wiped her brow and said, Thank God we made it just in time. Seo-hang looked at him and called out, Kang Min, you're finally here. Guk-hyung put a hand to his forehead and muttered, Ling, why did that little brat follow us here? Wanjong rested his chin on his hand, looked at him and said, Kang Min, I've been waiting a long time for you. Mai looked at him, asking tentatively, Young Master Kang Min? Kang Min patted her head and said, I'm late. You've been through a lot. Leave the rest to me. Do-hyun pointed his fan at him and screamed, You! Who the hell are you? This is the arena for the clan tournament. A piece of trash like you has no business here, so get the fuck out. Kang Min turned his head to look at him and asked, Are you going to off yourself? Or do you want me to do it for you? Hearing this, Do-hyun screamed in a rage. Huh? Who the fuck do you think you are? Right after, Kang Min summoned a spectral hand and slapped him away, saying, Die. Do-hyun's eyes rolled back, and he passed out. He looked over with a calm expression and said, The moment you tried to harm someone from the Azure Sky Kang clan, your life was no longer yours to keep. The crowd in the stands gasped in shock. Who is this guy? Why did he barge in? To dare kill someone right here. This bastard is so arrogant. Meanwhile, the people from the Azure Sky Kang clan exclaimed excitedly, Young Master Kang Min came to save Sister Mai. Young Master Kang Min truly is our clan's strongest genius. Who dares to say our Azure Sky branch is finished now? Jung-hoon looked down and thought to himself, Joan, my son, did you see that? That's your son, my grandson. Guk-sung immediately shot up, radiating a dark aura as he roared, Insolent bastard. The old man immediately raised his hand to create a protective barrier, saying, This is bad. Debris immediately shattered the protective barrier. Jung-hoon looked at him and asked, Kang Guk-sung, what do you think you're doing? Guk-sung's lips curled into a sneer as he asked, You foolish old man. You're asking me what I'm doing? He clenched his fist tightly and roared, Your grandson killed my grandson. I'll grind you into a meat paste to avenge him. Hearing this, Jung-hoon let out a cold laugh. Kill me? If you dare make a move, Kang Min will annihilate your entire clan. Guk-sung frowned at his words and let out a cold snort. He glanced towards Kang Min, calculating, That kid shattered the Black Wind fan's attack with just his voice. I'm no match for him. Jung-hoon pressed, Do you want to test that theory? Guk-sung clasped his hands behind his back and retorted, "Annihilate my entire clan?" He shot a glance at the old man and said, "Let's see if that brat even survives first. Killing someone right in front of the main clan's elders. He must have a death wish." Hearing that, Young-hoon turned his head to look down and cried out, "Kang Min!" A figure descended, shouting, "Junior, you've got some serious balls." Kang-go frowned and bellowed, "To dare kill a branch family member right in front of me. This is an unforgivable crime. I will bury every single member of your branch family right here." A white light emanated from Kang Min as he asked, "You dare threaten me with my clansmen?" He formed a spectral hand that grabbed Kang-go, shouting, "Die!" The elder was caught and screamed in pain. "How is he so strong? Help!" Kang Min clenched his fist and yelled, "Perish!" The spectral hand quickly tightened its grip, sending Kang-go to the afterlife. Immediately after, the system's voice rang out, "Congratulations, player Kang Min. For killing Kang-go, you have obtained 200,000 experience points, 200,000 strength points, and 200,000 God-level proficiency points." Hearing this, Kang Min closed his eyes and muttered to himself, "I didn't expect to get so much experience." The crowd above erupted in a shocked uproar. What the hell did I just see? Elder Kang-go was taken down in a single move? A junior from a branch family dared to kill a main clan elder. This kid is so dead, and his branch family is finished. Immediately after, several elders swooped down at once, bellowing, "How audacious!" The crowd buzzed as they recognized the elders. It's the 5th elder, 6th elder, 7th elder, 8th elder, and 9th elder, 5 elders in total. All 5 elders are at the 5-star martial ancestor realm or higher. That kid is toast. Serves him right for a branch family member to kill someone from the main clan. Seeing this, Guk-sung laughed excitedly. With 5 elders attacking at once, this brat is done for. He pointed at Young-hoon and cackled, "After he's dead, I'm gonna drag every last one of you from the Azure Sky Kang clan down and slaughter you all." Hearing this, the old man looked down below, thinking to himself, "Even if it costs me my old life, I have to protect Kang Min. He's the only hope for the Yi Shui-jo clan." Kang DM clasped his hands behind his back and demanded, "Who dared to kill Elder Kang Sao?" Kang Min picked his nose and retorted, "Are you fucking stupid? He tried to kill me. Was I supposed to just stand there and let him?" Kang DM pointed forward and roared, "Who the hell do you think you are? You're just an ant from a branch family. An elder from the main branch wanted to kill you, and you dared to fight back." Hearing this, Kang Min threw his head back and laughed. Seeing this, the man scowled and questioned him, "What are you laughing at?" He looked Kang Diem straight in the eye and shouted, "As a member of a branch family, I'm just an ant in your eyes." He clasped his hands behind his back and continued, "Then I, Kang Min, and the Yi Shui Kang clan will no longer recognize the authority of the main branch of the Zhou clan from this day forward." A member of the Zhou clan's main branch immediately roared, "Are you trying to rebel?" This was a direct slap in the face to the main branch. They originally thought the Yi Shui Kang clan could be salvaged. Now, Kang Diem scowled angrily and threatened, "In the Blazing Flame Kingdom, no branch family has ever dared to be this insolent to the main branch, or else." Kang Min smirked contemptuously and said, "Or else what? Oh, I'm so scared." The man's entire body erupted in flames as he screamed, "Or else they all die." Tang Chi released a powerful spiritual energy, appearing behind Kang Diem and said, "If you dare make a move, I'll consider it contempt for the Pill Pavilion, and I'll kill you right here." The man turned his head in shock to look behind him. Kang Diem, his face full of doubt, asked, "Elder Tong Chi, why are you here?" Tong Chi, who was walking forward, suddenly stopped. He glanced back and retorted, "You people want to kill our specially appointed elder, and you have the nerve to ask why I'm here?" Kang Cat shouted in disbelief. "What?" Kang Diem asked again, confused. "A specially appointed elder of the Pill Pavilion? Kang Min?" 2 other members of the Kang clan were startled and confused. Kang Diem's group couldn't believe it, chattering amongst themselves. The specially appointed elders of the Pill Pavilion are all Emperor-grade alchemists. Since when did Kang Min practice alchemy? With a status like that, the Zhou clan's main branch would never dare to make a move. Yeah, the Pill Pavilion's influence is massive. Chu Xing frowned, wondering to himself, a specially appointed elder of the Pill Pavilion? How could that little bastard Kang Min possibly hold that position? Up above, Guo Sheng stroked his chin, thinking, "This kid has truly surpassed all my expectations." Guo Sheng slumped into his chair, unable to stop himself from muttering, "The Pill Pavilion. Kang Min. How is this possible?" He stared blankly at the scene below, wondering, does this mean I can't get revenge for Tower anymore? Zheng Feng's face was filled with pride as he thought, "Kang Min, you've done so well." Kang Min stood still, looking at the Kang clan members around him. He scanned the crowd and asked, "So, do you guys still want to take me in?" The Kang clan members looked at each other, murmuring quietly, "Are we gonna take him? Take my ass." The Zhou clan can't afford to provoke the Pill Pavilion, so it's over just like this? This is so frustrating. If you want to die, then fuck off somewhere else. Don't drag the Zhou clan down with you. Shut up, stop making a scene. Kang Min spoke with a calm expression. Main branch of the Zhou clan, if you're done trying to capture me then. He raised his hand, pointed to the high platform, and yelled, Kang Yuanzong, get your ass down here. The crowd in the stands erupted into an uproar. Is Kang Min trying to commit suicide? The Zhou clan already backed down, yet he's picking a fight. Yeah, if Kang Yuanzong kills him, even the Pill Pavilion won't have anything to say. Don't speak too soon. I have a feeling Kang Min might not necessarily lose. Guo Sheng immediately threw his head back and laughed. The heavens are helping me. I thought I'd lost my chance for revenge, but I never expected this punk to challenge the clan's #1 genius. He's as good as dead, you idiot! He glanced at Zheng Feng beside him and shouted, You old fool, are you really naive enough to think that Mutt can win? Young Master Yuanzong is a dragon soaring through the 9 heavens, while that kid is just a worm crawling up from the mud. The old man looked down below, let out a cold snort, and said, Just you wait and see. Yuanzong immediately stood up, clasped his hands behind his back, and bellowed, You little shit. You finally worked up the nerve to challenge me. You haven't made this young master's trip a waste. He stomped hard on the ground, using the force to launch himself down below, shouting, Today, this young master will kill you in front of everyone, defeating you just like your father was defeated by the venerable Yuan Hao back in the day. Right after that, Tang Qi's group quickly departed when they saw Yuanzong appear in front of Kang Min. He looked straight at his opponent, spitting out each word, Kang Yuanzong. Hearing this, the other man looked at Kang Min and said, You killed Kang Cao, so your strength has probably reached the 3-star peak martial ancestor realm. But compared to me, you're just trash. Immediately after, Yuanzong's shirt vanished, revealing a lotus tattoo on his chest. Next, he gritted his teeth and bit his thumb hard, smearing the blood onto the lotus tattoo. A powerful pink energy immediately shot out. Kang Min watched the surge of energy rush towards him and asked in confusion, What the hell is that? As time passed, illusory sword auras began to appear, and Yuanzong's cultivation level started to climb relentlessly. 4-star martial ancestor, 5-star martial ancestor, 6-star martial ancestor, 7-star martial ancestor, 8-star martial ancestor. The surrounding crowd immediately gasped and shouted, What kind of secret art is that? Kang Yuanzong's cultivation just jumped 5 levels. He's already reached 8-star martial ancestor. As expected of a disciple from the Heavenly River Sword Sect, his power is truly profound and immeasurable. Kang Min watched this scene and asked uncertainly, Is this a formation array? He frowned, thinking to himself, My berserk skill only doubles my stats at 1 level. This motherfucker's cultivation just jumped 5 levels in someone else's formation, so who the hell is the main character here? Zhang Peng stood up, stroking his beard, and said, This is the strongest secret art of the Heavenly River Sword Sect, the Rebirth Lotus Sword Formation. Seeing this, Gukgyung thought to himself, The Heavenly River Sword Sect is really no joke. Xiao Heng laughed excitedly. Kang Min is so fucking dead. Couldn't he just stay hidden behind the Elixir Pavilion? He just had to run out here to die. Serves him right. Wan Zhong, his entire body glowing with a pink light, asked, My cultivation has now reached the 8-star martial ancestor realm. You're just a peak 3-star. How the hell are you going to fight me? Hearing this, Kang Min laughed and retorted, You think you've got this in the bag? Hearing that, he asked with a face full of contempt, Even if you have other tricks up your sleeve, the massive gap in our cultivation levels can't be changed. Or what? You also have a secret art that can boost your power to an 8-star martial ancestor? He looked towards Wan Zhong and declared, I don't have a secret art, but, Kang Min calmly stated, My cultivation was at the 8-star martial ancestor realm from the very beginning. Right after he spoke, a blinding golden light burst from his body. Wan Zhong's face was a mask of pure shock and disbelief as he asked, How can this be? The crowd around them jumped to their feet, shouting, The so-called cultivation genius Kang Wan Zhong needed a secret art just to reach 8-star? So who's the real fucking genius? What is happening? Kang Min was an 8-star martial ancestor from the start? Now this is interesting. Wan Zhong gritted his teeth, his face contorted in disbelief. He demanded, Impossible. In the Heavenly River Sword Sect, I'm a once-in-a-century prodigy. You're just some nobody from a branch family. How the hell could you cultivate faster than me? Kang Min's entire body erupted in flames as he replied, It is what it is. Hearing that, he pointed 2 fingers at Kang Min and roared, I am the strongest. Wan Zhong watched as streams of pink light hurtled towards Kang Min, yelling, Even if you are an 8-star martial ancestor, I can still kill you. You're nothing but trash. How can you possibly fight me? Kang Min raised his hand, gathering a golden light, and questioned, You really think you've got the balls for that? He instantly generated an energy shield to block the incoming sword, saying, If this is all it is, I'm going to be very disappointed. Wan Zhong's face darkened as he stood frozen, shouting, How can this be? My rebirth lotus sword is an emperor-grade martial skill. How can it be overpowered by your pathetic little blade? Who the hell are you? Kang Min raised one finger, concentrating his energy, and replied, "The man who's going to kill you." He couldn't help but take a step back, yelling, "You can't kill me, I'm a disciple of the Heavenly River Sword Sect. If you kill me, the Heavenly River Sword Sect will hunt you down. The Yishui Kang clan will be buried right alongside you." His eyes flashed with a red light as he roared, "You shouldn't have used my family to threaten me. For that, you will die." Wanzhong frowned. Raising his hands to quickly form hand seals, he yelled, "Shield me." Those swords were blocked by a pink energy stream from the Lotus Phantom. Then, Wanzhong watched as the swords began to fuse, converging into a black phantom sword that materialized in front of him. Seeing this, he laughed manically and yelled, "I am the real genius. In this moment of life and death, I've successfully fused the sword formation. Now even a 9-star martial ancestor is no match for me." Wanzhong grabbed the sword and then charged at Kang Min, slashing down. "Die!" Seeing this, Kang Min raised one finger to manipulate his spirit energy, saying, "Useless." Then, a phantom of sword chi shot from Kang Min's fingertip, flying straight at his opponent's slashing sword. It instantly pierced through Wanzhong's blade, his eyes widening in horror. He screamed as Kang Min's phantom sword pierced through him. Wanzhong was instantly blasted backward a great distance, crashing hard onto the ground and screaming in disbelief. "How could I have lost?" A hole appeared on Wanzhong's forehead, his eyes wide as he died. A system screen popped up in front of Kang Min. "Congratulations, player Kang Min, for acquiring the Rebirth Lotus Sword formation." Seeing this, Kang Min smiled to himself. "Not bad. I managed to break his formation." The crowd in the stands was stunned, whispering amongst themselves, "How is this possible? Is Kang Wanzhong dead? The Kang clan's strongest genius was killed that easily?" Guksung fell back into his seat, muttering in disbelief. Even Kang Wanzhong wasn't his opponent. Seo-heng also screamed in shock. How the hell was this guy hiding so much power? On the other side, Hua Ryu's eyes bulged as he screamed, "Wanzhong!" Jang Peng, who was standing next to him, grabbed his arm and stopped him. "Don't go." Hua Ryu whipped his head around and roared, "Let go of me. I have to avenge Wanzhong." Jang Peng calmly retorted, "Your cultivation is only at the 8-star martial ancestor level. What the hell are you going to do?" Hearing that, he asked furiously, "That bastard dared to kill our greatest genius. Are we just supposed to let that go?" Jang Peng gently let go of Hua Ryu's arm, clasped his hands behind his back, and said, "Someone will avenge Wanzhong." Hearing that, Hua Ryu asked in surprise, "He's back?" Kang Min crossed his arms and stood there, saying, "If this is all the clan assembly has, then this is fucking boring, Wanzhong." Just then, a sound echoed from high above, making him look up. Kang Min frowned, making a puzzled sound as he saw a red light hurtling towards him. Won-ho, radiating a powerful red aura, landed opposite him. Seeing this, Hua Ryu grinned and shouted, "He's here. That little bastard is toast now." Powerful gusts of wind erupted from Won-ho's body, blasting outwards. Kang Min crossed his arms and smirked. The final boss has finally shown up. Kang Won-ho stood his ground, his brow furrowed as he stared intently. Wan-hao saw the body on the ground and roared in agitation, "Wan-jong." He pointed a finger at Kang Min and demanded, "Did you kill Wan-jong?" Kang Min raised both hands and answered affirmatively. "That's right. Wanzhong wanted to kill me, so I had no choice but to fight back. Who knew he was so damn weak, dying that easily?" He thought to himself, "So this is the bastard who defeated my father with a dirty trick. The main culprit who blocked the second branch of the Zhou clan from joining the main family line." Wan-hao's brow furrowed as he gathered purple spiritual energy, lunging forward and roaring, "Shut your mouth! It's a blessing of 8 lifetimes that Wanzhong even wanted to kill you. Go and keep Wanzhong company in hell." The crowd on the stands gasped in shock. "Look, he's making his move. Kang Min is screwed." Wan-hao is a 5-star martial venerable, and at that distance, there's no way Kang Min can escape. Seo-heng crossed his arms and snorted coldly. A martial venerable is taking action. Kang Min is finally going to get what's coming to him. On the other side, Guksung raised his fist and shouted, "Yeah, kill him. Kill that bastard." Kang Min smirked slightly as he watched Wan-hao's claw strike approach. Pretty damn strong. Looks like there's really no escape. But he created a shield to block it, adding, "But who said I was going to run?" Seo-heng and Guksung gritted their teeth, staring intently at the scene below. Wan-hao shouted in shock, "It's you, Dang-chil." The man had crossed his arms, using his spiritual energy to block the attack. Up in the stands, Seo-heng gritted his teeth. Why the hell is the Danbo Pavilion protecting that little punk? Guksung slammed a fist into his own chest, yelling, "God damn it, why won't that bastard just die?" Wan-hao stared straight ahead and asked, "Why are you stopping me?" Hearing this, Dang-chil calmly explained, "Kang Min is the 7th special grade elder of the Danbo Pavilion." Wan-hao pointed at Kang Min and questioned, "What? He's so young, how is that possible? Kang Min raised his hands and shook his head slightly. It's simply because I'm too exceptional. Won Hao gritted his teeth, raising a fist and roaring, Dang chill, get the hell out of my way. If you don't, I'll kill you too. Even if it means offending the Danbo Pavilion. Dang Chill replied with a deadpan expression. Even as a 5-star martial venerable, you're not strong enough to kill me. Won Hao's face twisted in agitation as he yelled, You! From behind, Kang Min called out, Won Hao, I just thought of something pretty interesting. He tilted his head and asked, You're that torn up over Won Zhang? Is he your bastard son or something? Won Hao raised his fist and screamed, Shut your damn mouth! The crowd on the stands gasped, looking at Won Hao's reaction. Could Kang Min be right? Aren't they supposed to be from the same generation? Their names even follow the same generational pattern. A bastard son? That would explain why he'd hide the truth. Seeing this, Kang Min laughed and asked, I was just running my mouth. Why are you getting so worked up? Don't tell me it's actually true. Won Hao gathered his spiritual energy and charged, screaming, I will fucking kill you. Dang Chill immediately crossed his arms in front of his chest, blocking the attack once more. Kang Min laughed from behind him. Don't waste your breath. You can't touch me today. Won Hao sneered, then gathered his spiritual energy and rushed towards the Zhou clan members, saying, If I can't kill you, then I'll just kill your clansmen first. Hearing this, Kang Min roared furiously. Won Hao, you dare! He shot after him, wrapped in golden spiritual energy. Kang Min skidded to a halt, shouting, Shit! The Zhou clan members were bound by Won Hao's red spiritual energy. They struggled and screamed, Young master, save us! Clan head! Won Hao scowled and raised a hand, saying, You love hiding behind other people, don't you? Then open your damn eyes and watch how your clansmen die. Then, Won Hao immediately clenched his fist, and a group of people instantly exploded. Seeing this, Kang Min screamed in agony. No! The remaining members of the Zhou clan shrieked in terror. Little you, young master, save us! Kang Min's face was a mask of pure rage as he screamed. Won Hao, stop this right now! Up on the high platform, Guksung laughed and cheered. Hell yeah! Wipe out every last member of the second branch of the Zhou clan. Seo Heng crossed his arms, smirking. Finally, we get to see this little bastard suffer. Won Hao clenched his fist again, declaring, This isn't over, I will annihilate your entire clan. One by one, the clansmen of the second branch of the Zhou clan exploded. Kang Min roared with rage, Won Hao, I'll kill you! With that, he gathered a massive amount of spiritual energy and charged forward. Seeing this, Won Hao frowned. Finally decided to fight me yourself? He then immediately swung his arm, striking Kang Min hard and said, Too bad. Kang Min was instantly sent flying back a great distance. Won Hao had left 2 people alive, Zheng Peng and Zhou Meibo. The gap between our cultivation realms is just too vast. Seeing Won Hao throw his head back and laugh, Kang Min cursed loudly. God damn it! Zheng Peng gritted his teeth and shouted with fury. I can't believe that after all these years, I'm finally face to face with my son, Zhou Zhan's killer, Won Hao. Hearing this, Won Hao asked in confusion, Zhou Zhan? He looked down from above and inquired, You're Zhou Zhan's father? The one I killed all those years ago? Zheng Peng immediately spat on the ground and yelled, I spit on you? If you hadn't cheated back then by taking a pill to recover your strength, my son would never have lost to you. Hearing this, Won Hao laughed boisterously. So what? The winner takes all. I am now a martial venerable. And where is your son, huh? The old man roared in fury. You shameless bastard. Won Hao tilted his head up towards Kang Min and asked, So, that means this little punk is Zhou Zhan's son? He stared directly at Kang Min and continued, Looks like I'm the goddamn bane of your clan's existence. 18 years ago, I killed Kang Ji-hoon and threw him into Demon Cloud Ridge. And 18 years later, it's his son, and all his clansmen die by my hand. Zhang Bong immediately shouted out loud, Kang Min, run! Don't worry about us. As long as you live, the Kang clan will not be wiped out. Won Ho used his spiritual power to lift the old man in front of him and said, Old man, don't you worry. I'm going to kill every last one of you. He squeezed Go Zhengbang's neck with his hand and yelled, I'll reunite all 3 generations of your family. You should thank me for it. Kang Min's mouth fell open as he screamed frantically, That's enough! Won Ho tightened his grip and said, Not enough. After I kill this old bastard, I'll go to Nitui City and slaughter your entire clan. His face filled with rage, Kang Min took out a card and roared, I said that's enough, stop right now. Won Ho looked at the card, wondering in shock. What the hell is that card? Why do I feel a sense of danger? Then, Kang Min forcefully crushed the card, a beam of light shot straight down, and the system's voice rang out. Congratulations to player Kang Min for using the 6th level character summon card. You have summoned the great General Pan Feng, a 6th level hero. A beam of light shot down from above, the sky rippled with rings of light, and thunder and lightning cracked incessantly everywhere. A giant glowing portal appeared before them. The gate was slowly pushed open from within. A horse's hoof stepped out, and an excited voice boomed. Finally, I'm out. Pan Feng, mounted on his horse and carrying a massive axe, laughed and said, My axe has been waiting to see some action for a long, long time. The surrounding crowd saw this and immediately erupted. What the hell is this? Ripping through the void? Who is this guy? His aura is terrifying. He feels way stronger than Kang Won-ho. Won-ho was drenched in cold sweat, asking, What the fuck is going on? Did that little brat summon him, or is some powerful expert just passing by? Pan Feng frowned, charging forward on his horse and declaring, Looks like you've pissed off my master. A wide grin on his face, he raised his axe high and roared, Eat my axe! Won-ho looked up and screamed, Too fast, I can't dodge. He threw Jungbong down and raised a magic artifact, shouting, Azure Nether Shield. The crowd in the stands stared wide-eyed and yelled, He's even using the Azure Nether Shield, the Kang clan's heirloom treasure. That's an Earth-grade spiritual artifact. Who is that mysterious man? His first move scared Kang Won-ho into using his strongest treasure. Pan Feng, on his horse, slammed his axe hard against the shield again. Drenched in sweat, Won-ho cried out, I blocked it! Pan Feng's muscles bulged as he laughed and roared, Die! He brought his axe crashing down on the shield, which echoed with the sound of cracking. Won-ho stared at the axe blade right in front of his face, letting out a cry of disbelief. Pan Feng charged forward and slashed down on Won-ho. He spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, falling in disbelief. How can this be? Kang Mei and Jungbong fell from the sky, screaming in panic. Save me! Pan Feng immediately reached out and grabbed both of them by the collar. Then, still on his horse, he gently descended to the ground. Pan Feng dismounted from his horse. He walked step by step towards the motionless Kang Min. Then, he immediately knelt, bowed his head respectfully, and announced, Pan Feng pays his respects to the master. The villain has been beheaded. The crowd in the stands saw this and began to buzz loudly. Kang Won-ho, a 5-star martial lord, killed in a single blow? Was that powerhouse really summoned by Kang Min? Just how many secrets is this damn kid hiding? Guk-sung grit his teeth and fled. Even Kang Won-ho couldn't kill this brat. Dua, it's not that Grandpa doesn't want to avenge you. It's that Grandpa really can't do it. Seo-hung trembled all over and exclaimed, Just how fucking stupid was I before? I must report back to the Seo clan and immediately stop the hunt for Kang Min. On the other side, Guk-young rested his chin on one hand, smiling to himself. I have to get Linger to approach him. We absolutely must befriend him. Kang Min looked at Pan Feng and said, Stand up. He immediately replied, Yes, sir. Kang Min closed his eyes, silently blaming himself for almost forgetting about this card. If I had summoned Pan Feng sooner, my clansmen might have survived. Kang Mei walked over, calling out enthusiastically, Young Master Kang, thank you for saving me. Jungbong placed a hand on Kang Min's shoulder and comforted him. Kang Min, don't blame yourself. You did very well. Kang Min looked up, frowned, and cried out, Grandpa. Immediately after, the system screen displayed a notification. Congratulations to player Kang Min for leveling up to a 9-star martial lord. Congratulations to player Kang Min for obtaining the divine skill, Myriad Beast Art. Congratulations to player Kang Min for obtaining the special item, a 9th grade Azure Hua Xiong summon card. A notification appeared. Congratulations to player Kang Min for obtaining a fragmented map of Demon Cloud Ridge. Kang Min was startled, thinking, I got another summon card. On the screen, a prompt appeared. Special item, sealed character summon card. Hua Xiong, a 9-star Martial Emperor. Description 1. A prefect under Dong Zhuo during the late Han Dynasty, renowned for his bravery in the western capital. Description 2. This card can summon Hua Xiong, who will be absolutely loyal to the player, effective for 1 hour. Kang Min's eyes sparkled, and he crossed his arms, laughing out loud. This is a fucking upgrade from Pan Feng. I hit the jackpot. A 9-star martial emperor? Even if the sect master of the Heavenly River Sword Sect shows up, I won't be scared anymore. He held out the scroll in his hand, wondering, is this a map of Demon Cloud Ridge? Earlier, Kang Won-ho said he threw my old man into Demon Cloud Ridge. Kang Min looked at it, asking himself, I wonder if he's still alive. He opened the scroll to look, thinking to himself, Kang Ji-hoon is the biological father of this body after all, so I have to make a trip to Demon Cloud Ridge to find him. Too bad this fragmented map is only 1/3 of the whole thing. Suddenly, Kang Min exclaimed in excitement, Wait a minute. Kang Min stroked his chin and grinned, saying he remembered now, the Pill Pavilion seems to have one more piece. I'll go back and ask the old man about it. Fan Feng immediately cupped his fists and asked, Master, are there any other bastards you want dead? Hearing this, he fell silent and thought, That's right. This 6-star martial venerable can only be summoned for a single hour. It'd be a real waste to only kill Triyu Nguyen Hao. Hearing this, Trong Fong frowned and thought to himself, he's not planning to wipe out the entire damn Kang clan, is he? Kang Min crossed his arms and asked, Great Elder, if I killed Triyu Nguyen Hao, will you issue a warrant for my arrest? The elder immediately raised his hands and laughed. Of course not. Triyu Nguyen Hao brought this on himself. This old man agrees to let you and your clansmen stay here, and we can discuss the matter of the main branch after the clan head comes out of seclusion. Hearing this, he yelled out, "What the hell do you mean, main branch?" Kang Min shouted with an agitated face. You guys decided who's the main branch and who's the side branch on your own. I alone am the Kang clan. Suddenly, a deafening roar echoed out, causing the three of them to look over as a massive blaze appeared in midair. The people in the crowd clutched their chests, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood and screaming, "It's unbearable! What the hell was that?" A spear materialized, trembling uncontrollably as it radiated a golden light. Kang Min turned to look, thinking to himself, "Shit, the god-slaying spear is vibrating like crazy. Don't tell me the being it sealed is about to break free?" Deep in the abyss of Demon Cloud Ridge, Dusam was bound by iron chains. His head bowed as he stared into the depths below. The sound of incantations echoed in his ears. Suddenly, Dusam snapped his head up, his eyes widening as he stared upwards. He roared, his entire body erupting in a red light. "Break!" The red energy continuously slammed into the transparent barrier above, and the sound of chains snapping echoed around him. Finally, the iron chains broke apart, piece by piece. Dusam raised his hands and forcefully shattered all the iron chains binding his body. His eyes glowed red as he laughed maniacally and shot outwards. With a face full of excitement, Dusam roared, "I, the demon god Dusam, am finally free." All the demonic beasts within Demon Cloud Ridge sensed the demonic energy and immediately fled in terror. He glanced down, licked his lips, and said that it's been 3,000 years. This demon god has nearly forgotten the taste of blood. Today, I must eat my fill. Dusam immediately raised his hand, striking down with his demonic energy and yelling, "Refine!" All the spirit beasts were instantly surrounded by the demonic aura. They were lifted up by the demonic energy and pulled towards Dusam. A moment later, the demonic beasts exploded into smithereens. The blood essence from their bodies was siphoned out, flying back towards Dusam. It gathered into a spear of blood essence in his hand. He smirked as he looked at the blood sphere he had just created, saying, "How nostalgic." Then, Dusam quickly tossed it into his mouth, before letting out a hearty laugh. He licked his lips, gazing off in one direction, and said, "Truly delicious, but these spirit beasts are nothing compared to humans. Their flesh and blood is this demon god's favorite meal." Then, Dusam transformed into a streak of light and shot away, his eyes glowing crimson as he cackled, "Puny humans, obediently offer your lives to this demon god." In the royal capital, the crowd looked in that direction and murmured, "What the hell was that? It's so powerful. The roar reached all the way here and nearly knocked me off my feet. It must be a demon." Kang Min watched the red light radiating from Dusam and wondered, did this demon god break the seal because I took the god-slaying spear? Dusam shot off in one direction, his insane laughter echoing without end. Seeing this, Kang Min's expression soured as he yelled, "Shit, he's heading for the Liang Kingdom." His entire body erupted in a blue light as he shouted, "Seventh Elder Tang, I'm counting on you to protect my grandfather. I'll be back soon." After that, Kang Min transformed into a blue streak of light and gave chase. The elder also spurred his horse to follow quickly. Fan Feng wanted to go with his master too. Qin Fong raised a hand and asked worriedly, "Minna, where are you going?" Kang Min sped forward, frowning as he thought, if I'm really the one who unleashed this demon god, then I can't let him destroy the Liang Kingdom. At the very least, I can't let him touch my friends and family. He continuously poured spiritual power into his flight, saying, "System, take me to the demon god's location, right now." In the Liang Kingdom, the citizens looked up at the figure of Dusam in the sky and screamed, "Monster!" Drenched in cold sweat, they stared upwards and wondered, did that roar from before come from him? What does he want? Dusam raised his hand, striking down with demonic energy and laughing maniacally. "I smell the fragrant aroma of flesh and blood. I've waited far too long." Hearing this, the crowd scattered in terror. "What? Flesh and blood? He wants to eat us? It's a demon. Run for your lives. I can't move. Somebody save us." At that very moment, a beam of golden light shot up from below. Seeing a golden furnace, Dusam let out a grunt of confusion. He frowned, staring intently at it, exclaiming, "An immortal artifact." Streams of golden light poured out from the censer, quickly trapping Dusam inside. He immediately raised his fist and roared, to think that a lost, ancient, immortal artifact would be in this place. "But you think this decrepit immortal artifact is enough to stop me, Dusam? How naive." Dusam raised his fist and slammed it into the golden light that surrounded him. The censer made a cracking sound, and he sneered, "So this is all an immortal artifact is good for. Let's see how many punches from this demon god you can withstand." Suddenly, a spatial rift opened up right in front of Dusam, and a moment later, Kang Min was violently thrown out of it. He let out a cold snort and looked up. The demon god must be close. Just then, Do Sam, who was behind him, eyed Kang Min curiously. You looking for me? He turned his head and let out a confused sound. Kang Min looked at Do Sam's massive figure and yelled, "What the hell?" His face twisted in shock as he stared at the demon, jaw agape. Kang Min, on high alert, screamed, "Goddamn system, how dare you drop me so close to him?" Do Sam frowned, then chuckled. "Are you here to stop me?" He immediately shot up, clenching his fists and asking back, "If I said I was just passing by, would you believe me?" Hearing this, the demon raised an eyebrow and said softly, "What do you take me for?" Dosam looked down at Kang Min and asked, "It was you?" He flinched, wondering if he'd been found out. Kang Min raised his hands and laughed. "It wasn't me. I'm just a passerby. You guys carry on. Don't mind me." Dosam put a hand to his chin and mused, "This demon god has seen you before. If it weren't for you, I would have never escaped." He let out a confused sound, thinking to himself, "Does this bastard know I took the god-slaying spear?" The demon looked down from on high and declared, "To be honest, this demon god ought to thank you." Kang Min raised a hand and smiled. "If you want to thank me, words aren't necessary, senior. Just leaving this place would be enough." Dosam grabbed him with one hand, lifting him up and roaring, "Who the hell do you think you are to make demands of this demon god?" Kang Min pointed a finger at him and yelled, "Didn't you just say you wanted to thank me? The system screws me over, and now an old bastard like you wants to screw me over too? I'm your damn savior." Hearing this, the demon laughed and shot back, "Savior? I was just kidding. You actually believed that shit?" Dosam licked his lips and sneered, "You insect. Just be a good little snack for this demon god." Hearing that, Kang Min gritted his teeth and shot back, "Insect?" He shattered the demon's hand with a burst of power, yelling, "Even an insect isn't someone you can just kill whenever you feel like it." Dosam looked at his injured hand and screamed, "My hand!" Kang Min raised his own hand and summoned, "God-slaying spear, come to me." He swung it forcefully towards the demon, roaring, "Just die for me!" Dosam watched in shock as the god-slaying spear hurtled towards him. He let out a scream at the sight of that golden light. Kang Min gripped the god-slaying spear tightly and looked down. Seeing this, Dosam gritted his teeth and asked, "The god-slaying spear, who the hell are you to be able to wield it?" Kang Min frowned, a red aura flaring around his body as he said, "If I could release you, I can damn well seal you again." He clenched his jaw, thinking, "My current power level is too low. That god-slaying spear is too strange. It counters my power." Kang Min spun the god-slaying spear and raised it high, roaring, "You vile creature, accept your death." Dosam's eyes widened in shock as he screamed, "Shit!" He quickly fled, shouting, "Hey kid, this demon god will spare you for now. Once I've recovered, I'll be back to kill you." Kang Min watched his retreating figure and asked in confusion, "He ran?" He immediately collapsed to the ground. Looking at the spear in his hand, he said, "With my current strength, I can only use this god-slaying spear for one attack. If that demon god had fought back just now, I'd have been toast." The crowd below looked up at the sky, buzzing with excitement. "Is that monster gone? We're safe. It was that young man up there who drove him away. He's the savior of our entire city." They all knelt on the ground at once, shouting, "Thank you, savior. Thank you, savior." Kang Min looked at the sensor, absorbing energy beside him, and said, "How could I forget about you? Thanks for the help back there." He thought to himself, this sensor emits an energy that resonates with the god-slaying spear. Although it's weaker, it's definitely no ordinary item. A spectral smiley face flew out from the sensor. Seeing it, he raised a hand and said, "Oh, you can understand me, you little treasure. I declare that from now on, you belong to me." Immediately after, it turned into a streak of light and vanished. Kang Min, his face full of anger, raised his fist and yelled, "You dare ditch me, huh? Just watch me catch you." Right then, the system screen appeared. Congratulations to player Kang Min for unlocking the Clean Up Your Mess quest. Quest requirement: within 1 year, kill the demon god Dosam. Quest level: 55. Quest rewards: massive experience points and treasures. Quest reminder: at his peak, Dosam is even stronger than a martial god. Kang Min stroked his chin, wondering, an SS rank quest? This is pretty much a suicide mission. The crowd looked up at his figure in the sky, shouting, "Thank you, savior. Thank you, savior." Kang Min looked down below and said, "He broke the seal because I took the god-slaying spear. I swear here and now, within 1 year, I will take Dosam's head." As Kang Min flew through the air, he planned his next steps. Time to go back and train. I have to reach the martial god realm within a year, or I won't stand a chance against Dosam. Suddenly, a noise startled him. What's going on? Below, a horde of beasts stampeded out as if from a broken cage, roaring non-stop. Kang Min noticed them and wondered, why are so many spirit beasts going berserk like this? Could it be they were scared out of Demon Cloud Ridge by Dosam? Unexpectedly, the system notification rang out. This quest is to exterminate the spirit beasts. The more you kill, the greater the reward. This information made him unable to hide his joy. These aren't spirit beasts. This is a goddamn EXP farm, Kang Min exclaimed happily. Then, a powerful presence suddenly erupted beside him. A man on horseback rushed forward and announced, "Master, Pan Feng has arrived late." Kang Min was thrilled. "You're just in time. Let's go. Grind some EXP with me." "Wait, no," he stopped, quickly correcting himself. "Go kill the spirit beasts," the man replied. "Pan Feng accepts your command." At the city gates, the spirit beasts snarled, ready to charge. This threw the soldiers guarding the gate into a total panic. First, there was that red-haired demon. Now spirit beasts are besieging the city. Does heaven want to wipe out Four-Sided City? City Lord, what the hell do we do? With so many spirit beasts, Four-Sided City is about to fall. Suddenly in the sky, a man shot through the air and announced, "Everyone, there's no need to worry." The core disciple confidently declared, "I am a core disciple of the Celestial River Sword Sect. With me here, nothing will happen to Four-Sided City." As soon as the citizens saw him, they cheered with joy. It's someone from the Celestial River Sword Sect, a true powerhouse. The disciples of the Celestial River Sword Sect are incredibly outstanding. Four-Sided City is saved! This young man is going to become a legend. The core disciple's sword pointed straight at the horde of spirit beasts. He warned them, "To catch the bandits, you must first catch the king. If I kill this beast king, the spirit beasts will be like a snake without a head." He swooped down like a descending angel, declaring loudly, "Four-Sided City is under my protection, Beast King. Prepare to die." The citizens below the wall couldn't hide their happiness and roared, "So handsome. Hero, I want to marry my 40-year-old precious daughter to you." The Celestial River Sword Sect's reputation is truly well-deserved. The core disciple was also ecstatic, thinking to himself, "I can't believe I managed to catch up to this spirit beast horde. Heaven has truly blessed me with this opportunity. These beasts look low-level at a glance. Watch me slaughter them all with a single strike and become everyone's leader." Down below, a tiger-like spirit beast let out a roar that shook the very air, and with just that one shout, it sent the core disciple flying back, spitting blood. He slammed into the city wall behind him at breakneck speed. The core disciple passed out, his entire body plastered against the wall. This scene left the citizens completely stunned and bewildered, exclaiming, "How did this happen? We're screwed! Who can save Four-Sided City now?" Even a disciple from the Celestial River Sword Sect is no match for the spirit beast. Just then, Kang Min appeared, calling out to his companion Fan Feng, "That's a mid-stage 6th-level spirit beast. Kill them all!" He shot forward like a blur, each of his slashes decisive, quickly cutting down the spirit beasts. Die. The tiger spirit beast cautiously approached Fan Feng, but from his mount, he only needed a single slash to send its head flying. This horrific sight made the surrounding citizens break out in a cold sweat, exclaiming, "The Beast King is dead! Who is that guy? Isn't the young man next to him the one who just drove off the giant demon?" F times CK, the Celestial River Sword Sect. In the end, we had to rely on our benefactor. After the spirit beasts were defeated, the system chimed with a ding and an announcement. Congratulations to player Kang Min for becoming a 1-star Martial Venerable. Kang Min was overjoyed when he received the notification. "I've leveled up! I'm a Martial Venerable now!" He took the ring that was his reward and slipped it onto his finger. "Zephyr ring, let's see what you can do." As the ring settled on his hand, a powerful gust of wind swirled around Kang Min. He shot through the air like a falcon, disappearing in an instant. Kang Min landed on the ground right behind Fan Feng. Looking at the glowing ring on his hand, he realized, "A 10% speed boost for myself, huh? With this Zephyr ring, not even a 6-star Martial Venerable can hope to beat me." Fan Feng, standing in front, spoke up, "Master, do we continue killing?" Kang Min replied, "Of course, this is free EXP." He commanded, "Wipe them out." The man responded, "As you command." Then, Fan Feng charged forward with overwhelming momentum. His weapon held tight as he rushed in for the kill. The continuous sounds of clashes rang out as the spirit beasts fell one by one. Kang Min said with satisfaction, "With a 6-star Martial Venerable clearing the way, my monster-killing speed will be much faster than before." After the horde of spirit beasts below was completely wiped out, the two of them quickly flew into the sky towards a new location. Kang Min calculated from behind, "But it's almost time for Fan Feng to disappear." He seized the opportunity. "I have to use this chance to add to my spirit beast army. I'll use the spirit beasts here to raise my beast-taming art to the Emperor level." Kang Min decided to target the fox and snake spirit beasts to level up his own. One by one, each of them gained 5 proficiency points. After that, a series of system announcements rang out. "Congratulations to player Kang Min. Your beast-taming art has reached the Emperor level. Congratulations to player Kang Min. You have successfully captured an early-stage, 5th-level spirit beast, the Iron-Armored Savage Bull." An hour later, after Fan Feng had slaughtered all the spirit beasts and piled their corpses into a mountain, he and his beloved mount stood at the very top. Over here, Kang Min looked at his group of pets with great satisfaction. Except for the Iron-Armored Savage Bull, they're all 4th-level demon beasts. Not bad, he calculated. So, should I create an army of 4th-level demon beasts? Behind him, the sound of a hoof stomped loudly on the ground. Fan Feng reported, Master, it is almost time for me to leave. Kang Min sighed, sounding a little sad. That was fast, he urged. You've worked hard. You may go, the man replied. Master. And with that, General Fan Feng took his leave. As he finished speaking, Fan Feng gradually faded into thin air. Kang Min also left, already having a plan in mind. I should go somewhere else to kill spirit beasts. Then he climbed onto the rock's back and set off. Kang Min commanded, let's go. The rock acknowledged the order with a cry, soaring through the air with the majestic and powerful presence of a Sky Lord. Below, the soldiers who had just witnessed Kang Min's power saluted. Four-sided city respectfully sends off our benefactor. The citizens also bowed respectfully to see him off. Four-sided city respectfully sends off our benefactor. Kang Min glanced back at them, an indescribable feeling welling up inside him. This feels strange. It turns out that killing monsters not only lets you level up, but you can also gain other things. After that, he left cheerfully, filled with an indescribable euphoria. Meanwhile, back in the royal capital, brutal fights were raging, filled with thunderous roars and a constant stream of orders. Hold the fucking line! Our Seo clan is defending this sector. We absolutely cannot let it fall. The Namgung royal family also swore they'd rather die than retreat. Massive explosions rang out as everyone desperately fought the horde of spirit beasts with everything they had. We, the Zhou clan, leave no one behind. The ground trembled with constant, deafening booms, and terrifying explosions sent people flying through the air. Zhang Peng and Hua Ryu were absolutely horrified by the scene. What the hell is going on? Suddenly, a diamond berserker ape appeared, grown to a colossal size, roaring and snarling relentlessly. Everyone stared at it and screamed in sheer terror. Oh shit! It's a level 6 spirit beast, a diamond berserker ape elder. We can't hold on any longer. Should we retreat, Great Elder? Zhang Peng gave a firm command. We can't fall back. If we retreat, our Zhou clan will be kicked out of the royal capital by the other clans, losing our foothold here forever, Hua Ryu said anxiously. But this diamond berserker ape, we're no match for that thing. Zhang Peng was adamant. No buts. Fight to the death. Hold the goddamn line for me. He saw his opinion wasn't respected and gritted his teeth in fury. Then, Hua Ryu decisively charged forward. Charge with me. The warriors behind him surged forward, attacking as one, fully prepared to die. Watching from above, Seo Yun and the palace master could only sigh in concern. If Kang Wonho hadn't been killed by Kang Min, the Kang clan would still have some combat strength left, but now, they're probably screwed. The palace master added that even if the Zhou clan's elite forces managed to hold their ground, they'd suffer devastating losses, and it would take them at least a few years to recover. The colossal diamond berserker ape let out a furious roar, its face crimson with rage. Its sharp fangs were bared as a swirling pink and purple aura erupted around its body, creating an absolutely terrifying explosion of energy. A power that could not be fucking underestimated. A rapidly swirling black hole of energy formed a black and purple vortex, swallowing all the warriors in its path. They were flung into the air, screaming helplessly. Zhang Peng watched in horror as his men were blown away one after another. It's too damn strong. He clenched his jaw so hard it drew blood. Looking at the desolate, ruined landscape, everything was wiped out as if it had never been there. Zhang Peng wondered in agony, is this really the end for the Zhou clan? Then, a blinding flash of blue lightning suddenly streaked across the sky. The crowd below was captivated, looking up in a daze. Who the hell is that? Kang Min clenched his fist and shot forward like a streak of lightning. He slammed a massive punch right into the diamond berserker ape's shoulder. A massive crack echoed through the area, causing the beast to roar in agony. The diamond berserker ape slammed to the ground as everyone watched in shock. Kang Min just casually rolled his wrist and said with a hint of annoyance, "Tough bastard." Down below, everyone looked up, bewildered, asking each other, is that Kang Min? Did Kang Min just save us? Seo Yan and the palace master were equally stunned. He's the one who killed Wonho? In such a short amount of time, his cultivation has already reached the 1-star martial venerable realm. This Kang Min's talent is fucking terrifying. Ma Ji, watching from afar, smiled. Finally found you, you bastard, he declared. This time, I'll definitely kill you. The crowd was still confused. Why is Kang Min helping us? Didn't he already cut ties with the main branch of the Zhou clan? Floating in the air, he answered cheerfully. For the EXP, of course. Internally, he thought, if it wasn't for the experience points this diamond berserker ape is worth, there's no way in hell I would have shown up. Below, the ape got back up and let out a horrifying roar. Kang Min realized its defense was pretty damn solid. That last attack didn't even injure it. It kept roaring as its strength rapidly regenerated back to normal. Kang Min commented, kinda like my own berserk skill. Interesting. The diamond berserker ape opened its maw and charged at him, summoning a swirling vortex of power as it prepared to attack. The palace master realized with a shock that diamond berserker ape has gone completely nuts. Its power has surged to mid-stage level 6. So-Yun, on the other hand, was ecstatic. Kang Min is so screwed. He realized with glee that a one-star martial venerable could never block an attack like that. If he dies here, it'll be perfect revenge for the Seo clan. Ma Ji was also pleased. Looks like I won't have to lift a finger. He's going to die by the hands of this diamond berserker ape. But unlike them, Zhang Peng shouted with a glimmer of hope. Kang Min, watch out, Kang Min calmly replied. Well then, let's see who's crazier. He then activated his power, first level berserk, his aura flaring to that of a peak 2-star martial venerable. In a flash of fire, he shot upwards with a blazing aura, unleashing a brilliant slash that ripped through space itself, catching the giant diamond berserker ape completely off guard with the sudden burst of power. The attack created a blinding vortex of energy. Kang Min declared, "Die." The diamond berserker ape roared in agony as the crimson slash sliced deep into its flesh, sending blood and energy flying everywhere. It was a scene of pure fury, like a goddamn firestorm, showcasing the overwhelming power of his attack. Down below, 2 other spirit beasts appeared, their eyes glowing red with a terrifying aura. They charged into the fiery vortex of the battle, their menacing appearance ratcheting up the tension. A colossal wave of power then exploded from the initial strike. It created a pillar of white light that ripped the ground asunder, sending rubble and dust flying everywhere. The entire battlefield was engulfed in a cataclysmic roar as the giant diamond berserker ape shrieked in absolute agony, its body pierced by the immense energy. Crimson blood stained the ground, its red eyes trembling with rage and despair, creating a scene both tragic and horrifying. The massive body was slammed down hard, carving a deep crater in the desert. Dust and smoke billowed up like waves, while the residual force still swirled around, a testament to the overwhelming power crushing everything in its path. Seon Han was shocked and horrified by the sight. I don't understand how this is possible. He quickly left, eagerly calculating. No, I must report to the elder. The Kang clan must take the Su family seriously. Gong Chu was also utterly stunned by the technique he had just witnessed, slaying a 6th-level diamond ape, renowned for its defense, in a single strike. That's something no ordinary 1-star martial venerable could ever do. Ma Ji gritted his teeth, veins popping, and spat out in anger. No fucking way. How does he have that much combat power? Just before, when I was hunting him down, he was only an 8-star martial master, no match for me at all. And that was only a month ago. In stark contrast to the villain's bitter feelings, the people below erupted in cheers. Hell yeah! Kang Min saved us! Kang Min is the strongest genius of the Kang clan. Who knows if he'll even accept an invitation to our main branch? The system notification sound chimed again. Kang Min was rewarded with a massive amount of experience points, power points, and resounding congratulations. He accepted the rewards, thinking happily that this trip wasn't a waste of time after all. Suddenly, a golden light flashed next to Gong Chu, signaling someone else's arrival. Elder Dang Chil and his group appeared, praising him. What the hell kind of training does this kid do? It hasn't even been a day, and he's already a 1-star martial venerable. Woon Cheon, the reclusive elder of the Seo clan, also marveled at it. To reach the martial venerable realm at such a young age is no simple feat. Ma Ta lamented with a hint of regret. The reclusive elder of the Kang clan, Kang Wan-wol, noted that he hasn't been refining divine artifacts for long. Ma Ta, if he has a talent for artifact refinement, our divine artifact pavilion could make him the young master. Gong Chu stepped forward to chat. Kang Wan-wol, your Kang clan really hit the jackpot this time. Wan-wol happily boasted, his talent is the greatest in our Kang clan. Meanwhile, Kang Min was still busy farming points, having already defeated the Beast King. Next, he looked at the horde of battle-hungry spirit beasts below with immense joy. Time to farm some EXP. Suddenly, a whooshing gust of wind caught Kang Min's attention. From the forest below, a Snake King slithered forward with terrifying latent power. The moment Kang Min saw it, he realized with a shock that it was a late-stage 6th-level spirit beast, equivalent to a 9-star martial venerable. The Snake King easily broke through all barriers, slithering forward with all its might. He weighed his options. He definitely couldn't beat it in a solo fight. With it here, his EXP farming session was over. Kang Min looked up at the group of people high above, and after a moment of thought, an idea struck him. I've got a plan. Kang Min eagerly flew towards them, thinking, how can I let those old geezers just sit on their asses? They need to get their hands dirty too. Woon Cheon's group was startled and confused as they watched Kang Min rush towards them. Kang Min then bowed respectfully. Elder Dang Chil, I have a favor to ask of you. Dang Chil stepped forward to reply, you're a special elder, so just say what's on your mind. Gong Chu agreed. That's right, and let me introduce you. These are the reclusive elders from the Seo clan, the Kang clan, the Namgung clan, and the Divine Artifact Pavilion. Kang Min replied nonchalantly, "Greetings, elders." Seeing his attitude, Woon Cheon realized, he's arrogant, just as I thought. No wonder he dared to offend the Seo clan. Ma Ta didn't seem to care about this. He asked, "Young man, go ahead and tell us, what do you need our help with?" Kang Min began to explain.